Hour is presented by Subaru of Gwinnett. You'll love the difference. The Morning Extra, only on Extra 106.3.
Morning, y'all. Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. It is almost Friday. Thank God it is almost Friday. We're cruising from here.
This is not the hee-haw of Atlanta radio, but we aspire to be such.
If we
put the work in,
if we got some elbow grease to get in to be hee-haw, but if we do, if we're willing to do that, if we're willing to go above and beyond, then we will be hee-haw.
I mean, you are wearing a hee-haw shirt.
Well, we talked about it yesterday.
And you decided when you got up this morning, oh, look, there's my hee-haw shirt.
There it is.
I'm putting it on.
That's right. And so if you grew up watching hee-haw like I did, then welcome. And if you didn't, like Jeray, which is...
was that
is a sad,
like a guilty pleasure in your home? Because again, when I spent, I was born in San Antonio, spent like the first year there. My parents, because they were with everyone was known as the phone company, whether it was AT&T, Southwestern Bell, whoever was running it at the time.
Same in Dalton.
They sent them to small town Texas. This is where you would get your managerial experience. And so my family went to Uvalde, Texas for about 3 years. And it was like a pretty big deal to have TBS, WGN, and when Hee Haw would come on, like the Dukes of Hazzard.
People gather around the TV.
It's a big deal in my house.
I love it, dude. It's so good. The Dukes of Hazzard was good too, though. That's another one that's up there.
I was broken a little bit when I found out. When I moved to Georgia and I found out there was no such thing as Hazzard County.
Yeah, it was actually Covington. Funny, John Snyder's been in town.
I was wrong, dude.
Yeah, it does. It is. It stays. Well, it's much like Mayberry and Andy Griffith. There's no Mayberry. It's Mount Airy, North Carolina. Everything's based on.
What do you mean there's no Mayberry?
There's no Mayberry. It's Mount Airy, North Carolina. But if you go up there, they have all the statues. You can still go to all the places that were featured in that show.
How iconic that when people describe small towns, they'll say it's Mayberry by the sea, it's Mayberry in the mountains. Right. That is a show that hasn't been on in, 80 years?
Oh, my gosh, at least. It's been forever.
Mayberry in the mountains. Oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah, makes sense to me. No, but yeah, John Snyder has been in town. For whatever reason, he pops up in my social media feed
because you're stalking him.
Yeah. How you doing, Bo Duke?
I've been following you around, Bo Duke.
Yeah, and now he's like a stoner or something. It's not exactly.
He's got his own cannabis industry.
He's doing something. Yes.
Okay.
Anyway, but he was in Covington. They had the General Lee parked out there. It's been the last couple days that I've seen him, and he's walking around and taking pictures with the plaques for, where they filmed the first several episodes, and then they moved it out to L.A. to a soundstage. But
do you think it's problematic, like at his age, when they're like, hey, can you slide across the hood?
Yes. He's like, ow!
Ow!
Yes.
Damn it!
I tweaked my back again. Yeah. Or remember, what was it about 2 weeks ago up in Kentucky?
Oh, yeah, when they jumped the General Lee through the fountain in Kentucky.
That's right. And that car was beat all to pieces.
Pretty cool.
God, it was still awesome.
Think about those stars. Like, could you imagine if you told David Hasselhoff, here, take this float, and I need you to, run with it.
Yeah.
Because, I want to relive Baywatch. It's like, it hasn't been on for 30 years, man.
But it made an impression. There's just certain TV shows and movies or whatever that just grab the American people, the American public, and it sticks with you. There's just something about those iconic characters. But I would even say before that, dude, when he was Michael Knight, with Kit, dude, that thing was so incredible.
Thought that was a pretty cool show.
I even had the car as a kid.
I did too.
Well, you push the tag in, and it would do the Kit thing where it would talk.
I just remember that by the time Baywatch came around, I was disappointed because that was Michael Knight to me.
That's exactly right.
That was Knight Rider. And there was a handful of those shows.
Sure.
Richard Dean Anderson is still MacGyver in my mind. There's only one MacGyver.
That's right. Did you ever watch the new MacGyver?
No.
I didn't either. I mean, I'm probably a bad barometer of what to watch, but
MacGyver.
I used to love MacGyver.
You could get out of any scenario with a stick of bubble gum and a shoelace,
and a paperclip. Like, dude, he just got out of a prison. How did he pull that off? I don't know. Bag of popcorn. You know, you blew the door off somehow.
So you went hee-haw.
Yeah, I went on hee-haw.
Love it.
today. What you got on Poncho Drifters?
Oh yeah, just little poncho drifters, the whole Texas brand.
I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah, no, they you can find them quite a bit online. My wife started buying me clothes from them, and so yeah, I'm
That's
just
hometown. I love that.
yeah, just doing the whole thing.
I love it. Going hunting.
But I'm putting the pullover on because I'm already getting cold.
Yeah, dude, I got to tell you, because I got that
I walked in
pullover out there, and I was like, man, today might be the day.
I was like, we've hit that point already in the show where, all right, I'm cold.
Yeah, Los is freezing to death. Well, it's understandable because it is freezing in here.
By the way, something we never really touched on yesterday, and with the whole deal with Kohlberger and the victim impact statements that happened in the afternoon. Get it? Like, we're supposed to try to find out, at a certain point, what was the motive with this thing. And it's tabloid oriented, and it'll be here today, gone tomorrow, and that sucks. But part of the reason why I've had such a respect for the FBI before it turned into what it turned into, their behavioral science unit was like one of the first things in the 1970s, late 1970s, to try to figure out why people do what they do. And the fact that man is going to prison for the rest of his life, for 4 life counts, and we have no idea why he did what he did.
It's unbelievable. But when you look at him, and I know this, you can't judge a book by its cover necessarily, but when you look at him, he fits the bill. I mean, those hollow eyes, just almost emotionless.
Just the pure sociopath who, and so many of them do it for sexual gratification, but there was nothing there to make you go, okay, that's exactly the MO of what this guy was doing this for. If there was anything that was missing from yesterday, it is the why.
Yeah, no doubt.
And it was crazy to watch that stuff.
Because you don't know the why, much like with any conspiracy theory, if you don't know the why, you start filling in the blanks.
And well, my concern was in an era where you now have, it's prevalent within social media to have young people who live out loud, who put their stuff out there. Mm-hmm. Was that the origination of the stalking? What went on there that then caused him to snap or to decide this is what he was going to do? Because it's instructive moving forward. Instead, you get nothing.
Yeah, you got nothing. And he was doing all those classes. You talking about the FBI and all the... He was doing classes.
Forensic classes.
It's almost to me, again, this is me filling in the blanks. Nothing, obviously I'm not alleging anything. I'm just saying, when you think about it, when you go through, like, what... Did he feel like, hey, I've been taught how to do this. I'm going to see if I can get away with it. Could it be as simple as that? And as gross as that, but as simple as that?
You would like to know. You don't know. And so that was like the background of yesterday. That was like of if there was 20 things of huge importance, really there was like 3 things of huge importance. And it was like the third one, but it was the tabloid one. Like it was way in the background in comparison.
But fascinating. My wife, that's the one she's captivated by.
Oh, yeah.
That's the one that she's, we're focused more on, the Russia hoax. And funny, my son calls me yesterday. He's driving back to Oak Island, gets a ticket on the way. He got his first speeding ticket.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Finally.
Welcome to the club, kid. He was like, tell me about what's going on. Help me understand this. and so I just kind of walk him through. And he never said a word. I had to ask him a couple times if he was still on the phone. I thought the phone call had dropped. But he was just taking it all in. He wasn't like, trying to interject anything. He was just absorbing.
I had my own Aunt Peg moment.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Because my mom's in town.
Oh, got it.
And she asked me.
Oh, no.
And what I made the mistake as I started to explain, I didn't recognize early on enough that it wasn't her asking for an explanation. She was asking for a fight.
Mm-hmm. That's what happens.
Epstein this, Epstein that, Donald Trump this. And by the time, the funny part was, I pulled out my phone and I said, I'm recording this
Yeah.
because it's instructive.
Yeah.
And it might make the show.
Oh, my gosh.
It just depends how cruel I guess I want to be.
Oh, my gosh. Let's not be cruel to mama. Let's don't do that.
I was amazed. I'm just telling you.
Dude, I've been there. I've been there.
I was shocked. And now, as I then, walked upstairs to go check on my wife because, she's got the sciatic issue. And I came back downstairs and I told her, I just wanted you to know, it's like, I don't bring this stuff up in the house.
Yeah.
You asked me. You were just looking for a fight.
Yeah.
And I walked downstairs to the basement. Now I get the text messages. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be. I was like, listen here, Aunt Peg.
Yeah, no kidding, man.
Don't ask me a question if all you're looking for is a fight. But it's crazy the level of insanity that these people have, including my mother.
Yeah.
When they are so hopped up on Epstein, yet they are not paying one bit of attention to what is going on when it comes to Barack Obama and one of the greatest controversies in the history of the presidency.
And you know why that's happening, I'm sure, because the mainstream media is doing the exact same thing.
That's what they're doing.
You want to talk about mute? They're not. They've muted the button. They're not talking about it at all.
We'll get into this at some point. CNN actually cut away from Tulsi Gabbard as far as coverage.
Yeah.
Where they were like, uh-oh.
She said too much.
She's saying too much truth. Yeah. Cut away from her.
It's not surprising.
It's crazy. It's a media blackout.
It totally is. And it seems... And another thing that Tulsi asked is for some honest reporting. And of course you laugh because you're not going to get it. I'm sure she knows she's not going to get it. But this is the biggest story. Well, think about it. Let's rewind to 2016 and 2017, 2018, 2019. This is the biggest thing. The biggest story.
This is what they led the news with every single day.
Every night. And we had yesterday, I don't know if we still have it, and don't go diving for it, Dre, but we had a 14-minute clip of nothing but opening of newscasts. Russia collusion. The evidence. There's no doubt. This certainly happened.
They're not media. All right, that's the joke of it all.
Yes.
They are the Democrat media wing.
That's right.
That's what they are. They're there to carry the water for anything the Democrats are involved in. You don't actually, as much as when you saw what happened with Stephen Colbert, and people are like, are you all kind of going over the top, like celebrating this in the way that you are? It's like, well, hell yeah. Just like I'm celebrating NPR is going to be on its butt. Same thing with PBS. Well, but they serve the community. Well, then do it straight. Do it on your own.
Yeah, do they serve the community? That's the bigger question. Do they? 'Cause I'm not sure.
You can actually turn on any sort of television network, and you will not see much of anything that has to do with this entire controversy. Instead, it's all about let's follow these ancillary things that don't matter.
So we don't have to.
So when my mom asked me about it, all she wanted to do was actually talk about Gavin Newsom and start a fight.
Dude, I've been there with that Peg. When she sat down, we sat down.
Do you know how effing S crazy you sound right now?
No. The crazy part is no, they don't.
I had to. Here was the fun part. So I go, let me just get this straight. Let me just walk you through this because, yesterday you had the Trump administration once again. Obviously, they went to a federal court and said, we want to get the grand jury testimony. We want to get all this information when it comes to the Epstein case out there. And a woman, Robin, I still have it on my phone. Yeah. So she's an Obama appointee.
Yeah.
And again, I don't think it came across as being like overly political. Robin Rosenberg.
There you go.
She decided to point out it shouldn't be out, but if you want it to be out, you're gonna have to make a different sort of argument for this. So again, I didn't look at it as like overly political, but what it really comes down to is a Barack Obama appointee decided not to have information come out that this administration has been asking to come out. And so as I'm explaining this to my mom, she goes, well, that's because she and the rest of them are afraid of Trump.
Right.
I was like, do you realize how hard it is to get a federal court judge after they're appointed out of their position?
I mean, it's moving heavens and earth.
And as I start to explain, she's like, well, Trump owns the Congress.
What's that got to do with it?
Well, what is it?
Well, yeah, dude, it's tiring. It's exhausting. It's mentally draining. It's exhausting. That's why anytime Aunt Peg even says anything, dude, I drop step.
I'm going to play this for you during the break because, again, I recorded it.
Okay.
The logical steps that are required are non-existent.
Just taking leaps.
I was like, so let me get this straight for the audience. I go, you're a federal court judge appointed by Barack Obama. You have the opportunity to, and I'm using the finger quotes, big finger quotes, bury Donald Trump in Epstein information, and you didn't do it because you're afraid of Donald Trump?
Yeah. Well, they fired Stephen Colbert. I keep seeing that one pop up, too.
I was like, really? I was like, seriously, your side took 2 shots at him.
Yeah.
Don't tell me about how some federal court judge was like, uh-oh. And in fact, the crazy part is my mom pointed out, well, I was like, when the Democrats were in charge, like what happened? She's like, well, they were concerned about making Bill Clinton look bad, but he's not in the files anymore.
Well, what do you mean he's not in the files anymore? What does that even mean?
Dude, it was a level of crazy. That's why I just walked down to the basement. I walked down back to Wayne's World. I was like, you're crazy.
I'm out.
You're
out.
nuts.
Yeah.
I was like, and never bring this up in my house again. Like, I'm not talking to you the whole rest of the time you're here because you're crazy.
I have to take the drop step anytime Aunt Peg starts the engine. I can hear it. You know, it's like an old car coming down the street. You can hear it from afar.
Did you know Donald Trump? Oh, gotta go.
That's exactly right.
See ya.
He said he's going to be a dictator from day one. She told me that at a picnic table in Charleston, South Carolina. I had to get up and go buy me a drink. Morning Xtra at Xtra 106.3. But in close, final thought though, this was the biggest story for 3 years. Tulsi Gabbard says, "Can we get some honest journalism?" Of course, the answer is no. Media blackout's what you get. But it does beg the question. You led with it for 3 years. Now you're not. Now you're all of a sudden you're deafening silent. It's impressive what they do. When we continue, what Obama's legacy is now. Next to Xtra 106.3.
Live and local news talk continues at 3 p.m. with Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. It's the Kimmer Show, only on Xtra 106.3 and the Xtra app.
So you have just a little more time. How many days we got left? Today's the 24th. What, we got 7 days. We got a week left in the month of July. Christmas in July with Central Heating and Air Conditioning is benefiting Skyland Trail. It is a nonprofit leading the way in mental health awareness and wellness here in Atlanta, providing expert and evidence-based treatment to help people facing mental health challenges find a path to recovery. So when you get a maintenance agreement for your home or your business or both, $10 from each of those will go to Skyland Trail. Life-changing care for those who need it most. The more agreements people sign up for, you, your friends, your family, your business, your home, the bigger the check will be for those guys. Central Heating and Air Conditioning services all makes and models, even though they're your Atlanta Carrier experts. You can get great service, a couple times a year. They come out and do the maintenance. That's the money that goes to Skyland Trail. Or if you need to replace the system, they can do that too. They do anything you need done. And here's the kicker. This is the best part of Central Heating and Air Conditioning. If I could narrow it down to one thing, when you call them, you actually speak to someone. There's no push one for this or that. You physically speak to a person that works there. Not outsourced to Montana or California, right here in Atlanta, right there in the same office with Chuck, the owner. That's how great Central Heating and Air Conditioning is. If I can tell you to call them for that reason alone is amazing because it's so rarely happens these days. 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com.
A study by Allianz Life reveals that 63% of Americans harbor the fear of running out of money in retirement. With that, let's turn to Coach Pete. Coach, what about the word safe?
Safe. Big word. Big word. Misconstrued sometimes. When you hear safe, it seems boring to some people. Safe, you think of a CD at the bank paying 1%, but there are some safe strategies that will grow your money, help you participate in the upside of the market, but not the downside, and give you lifetime income you can never outlive. That is the true safe, and that puts safety, gives you peace of mind if you have the right safety, doesn't it?
It sure does. And get a look at what the right safety plan for your retirement could be. Call Coach Pete's local trusted advisor, Craig Chandler of Chandler Wealth Management. 800-419-6164. 800-419-6164. 800-419-6164. Craig Chandler, 800-419-6164.
Experience luxury like never before behind the wheel of a brand new Cadillac from Jim Ellis Cadillac.
From the iconic Escalade to the innovative electric Lyric, Jim Ellis Cadillac offers the models you know and love, along with the latest in luxury EVs.
And the buying experience just as luxurious as the Cadillac name itself. With great prices, a great selection, and a team of knowledgeable sales associates, you'll love shopping at their showroom conveniently located on Peachtree Boulevard, just inside the perimeter.
Prefer to shop from home? Visit JimEllisCadillac.com, where you can browse all the latest offers and even start or complete your entire purchase online with the Jim Ellis Expressway.
Want to try before you buy? Schedule an at-home test drive and enjoy the convenience of home vehicle delivery. Luxury is waiting. Experience it today at Jim Ellis Cadillac. Jim Ellis Cadillac, where you can always expect the best.
Jim Ellis, expect the best.
Neil Borch here. Maybe you've already taken the steps to improve your health, maybe save your life. You're using a CPAP for your sleep apnea. I've been using one for well over 20 years. So right now I'm here to tell you about a source for CPAPs and CPAP supplies here in the Atlanta area. CPAPs, etc. They're in Alpharetta. They have whatever you need. Roddy and Sharon are your CPAP experts, and they'll ship nationwide. More information, CPAPsETC.com.
By texting 26022, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Tax Lien Code. Message and data rates may apply. Terms apply. Available at taxliencode.com.
Imagine waking up and not needing to rush. No commute, no emails, no boss. Just coffee, sunlight, and the freedom to choose. That's the power of tax lien investing. It's been around for over 200 years, used by banks, hedge funds, and the wealthy. And now, finally, it's being taught right here in Atlanta. It's secure, predictable, passive income backed by real estate and mandated by state law. And it pays you, sometimes 15 to 35% returns. You don't need to own property. You just need to see how it works and how to do it right. We've taught over 100,000 students, and we'll teach you for free at a live masterclass right here in Atlanta. If you're ready to start building real wealth through tax lien investing, this is it. Text EARN to 26022 to reserve your free seat. That's EARN to 26022. But hurry, seats are limited. Text EARN to 26022.
This is Tom with the Honest Car Guy.
Hey, what's with all this honesty stuff?
We help you buy your next pre-owned car or truck honestly.
How honestly?
We guarantee that each vehicle we sell will come with a bill of sale showing what we paid for the vehicle. You'll pay what we pay, plus an honest fee. Guaranteed.
No gimmicks or tricks?
Nope.
Man, this sounds like a new way to buy a car.
Get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Thursday, July 24th. The Cobb County Commissioners voted to approve a $1.3 billion budget for 2026. Next year's budget maintains the current millage rate at 8.46 mils and avoids a $7 million deficit due to lower health care costs and rising property values. Higher internet speeds are coming to the city of Smyrna. City officials approved a deal with Google Fiber to begin installation along public right-of-ways for high-speed internet and TV access. The deal emphasizes that installations must be done with reasonable care. A temporary stop work order was issued in Brookhaven last December when a gas main was ruptured during related construction. And the kids are heading back to school soon. Pearson Middle School is hosting a back-to-school bash for Cobb County to provide nearly 1,000 backpacks filled with school supplies. The event begins tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Chick-fil-A meals will be provided courtesy of the Braves Home Plate Project, along with free health screenings and physicals. Today's weather slightly cooler today in the upper 80s with isolated thunderstorms in the afternoon. A major heat wave is on the way early next week. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
Obama's legacy has always been just this almost like touch of class, right? He was above the fray. He was so charismatic. I mean, he made Bill Clinton playing the saxophone on Arsenio Hall show. That's amateur hour in what Barack Obama was able to achieve and what he was able to lay out as a guy because you felt like, man, he's so cool. I'm glad he's the president. Now, if he ever got down to talking about what he wanted to do to the United States, you'd be like, whoa, hey, hang on a minute.
Maybe in the first year of the Obama presidency, the first time he did brackets, I was like, oh, he does brackets like me. Yeah. Okay, maybe he's not really a communist, Marxist, crazy guy.
Nope,
and then I was like, oh no, okay,
yeah,
you're right, Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah.
I hope he fails too.
Yeah, right, because that was I remember when Rush said that and
said, I hope he fails in what his plan is.
But just the backlash.
Yes,
Rush was the king of that, and Rush was ready because he knew what it was going to cause, and he laid out all of his evidence, much like Tulsi Gabbard laid out evidence. Interesting how that's playing out in front of us. But that's the thing. Now, what is Obama's legacy? I expect that, like the guy we played the other day that said, I don't want anything to do with Barack Obama's form of fatherhood. I'll be my kid's father, when he said that kids not only need their dad, but they also need an older gay man to soften the world for them. And that dad was like, no, thank you. I think Barack Obama's his legacy, this is just the beginning of the crumbling of that going from this untouchable to a guy that has fallen from grace so hard, because you find out when he takes that mask off that is just veneer, that is just polish. He hated this country and he hated you.
It was always off prompter is when you got what was really going on. Because I don't know if in modern times we've had a more polished president when it came to working on the prompter than him. It's how he worked it, how he presented, everything was smooth. Just obviously wildly gifted as a presenter. It's when you would get him off prompter, the uhs and ums and everything. And again, that's typical for a lot of people. Sure. That's fine.
I do it too.
But whenever he would get off prompter is when you would start going, hey, that kind of sounds communist.
Yeah, that's right.
Like when he
Can't help but notice.
He told Joe the plumber, who's since passed. So,
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P.
You and Ozzy.
Yeah. Gets him. Oh, hey, Ozzy, welcome. It's Joe the plumber.
Can you play Crazy Train?
Can you do Crazy Train again? But he told Joe the plumber during off prompter. Here's the conversation. Joe Plumber asked him about what he meant with his economic policies, and he started talking about spreading the wealth around.
Yeah, you didn't agree with that.
And there's another thing. When he says, like, well, you didn't own that. You didn't build that business. Wait a minute. Yeah, I did.
Sweat, tears, investing my time and my money.
And so those are those moments where he gets off prompter and suddenly you just say, oh, so that's what that guy's about. And so what the legacy is going to be is I think there's going to be a whole lot of, man, that was really smooth. What did it mean?
Nothing.
Because his signature legislation costs so many people so much in healthcare these days.
26% increase in Obamacare in that marketplace this year alone. But you brought it up the other day, and it's so good that you did, because I think people forget that the ACA in that marketplace was never meant to succeed. That's the thing you have to understand about it. It was not helping poor people with insurance. It was never about that.
No, it was always meant to fail as a system, that there would never be enough money going in, and that the system would eventually bust. And when it would bust, you would have people that were so used to it, they'd be calling for a single-payer healthcare system.
Like in Europe or like in Canada. There's a reason Canadians come to the United States to get their healthcare done.
By the way, do you remember, and I'm sorry to interrupt you there, but do you remember when it launched? The website didn't even work.
Well, the website didn't work. Yeah.
How funny was that?
Couldn't even log in.
The website doesn't work. It just launched.
It's government at
they just spent like $8 million on a website and it wouldn't work.
Yeah, I do remember it.
How wild was that?
It was the epitome of government failure and government inability to do things that you should be able to do pretty easily. But he's got a new legacy now. There was the old legacy, the polished legacy. The new legacy is unmasked. This was a power-hungry communist that wanted to destroy the United States of America. He saw the best health care in the world, and he's like, we can't have that. They don't deserve that. Nobody else gets that. Let's get rid of it. His new legacy is completely destroying everything that you hold dear And now we saw it. If you voted for Donald Trump, the next step was, how do we get rid of this outsider so we can keep it just to us? Keep the power at the top with the powerful people that have always been here.
I've always looked at Barack Obama as he was the great divider in chief. This was a man who very early on, and they clung to this, if you questioned him or went after his politics, they'd call you racist. No one did more to hurt race relations in this country. I mean, we were at a point where you had the first black American president, and the first thing he's doing is, well, any of my opponents are racist. Oh, hold on a second. I thought you were supposed to be this great uniter. And everything was about us versus them.
You know when I knew it? When he held the beer summit. That's when I knew that he was the divider in chief. Because the police officer goes and dude's trying to get in his own house, whatever. But he doesn't cooperate at all. He's hostile to the police officer. Police officer arrests him. They blame the police officer. Dude, all you have to do is say, this is my house. We're good. Be cordial. Just like when you get pulled over on 400, if you're combative, guess what's going to happen?
Barack Obama at the time said that the police acted stupidly.
Yeah.
That was his quote. Now, I want you to think about what his goal was. And I'm going to play this piece of audio. As we fast forward to Philadelphia in, 2021, and there is sleepy Joe Biden. Joe, who is on his last couple brain cells. It's dementia, it's cancer. And he's telling everyone, we've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin.
Oh, I remember that.
As he's dividing America into half. Those of you who take this experimental drug, or we're going to go after you. I want you to think about that. I've never heard an American president ever have, here's what it is. I'm going to hold, obviously, an event. It's going to be on every news station, and I'm going to cut the entire country in half. Now, that sounds like something that would have come out of the mouth of the divider-in-chief, if you remember what he told you.
If I could make an arrangement where I had a stand-in, a front man or front woman, and they had an earpiece in, and I was just in my basement in my sweats looking through the stuff, and then I could sort of deliver the lines, but somebody else was doing all the talking and ceremony. I'd be fine with that because
I wouldn't have to take the rap. My legacy stays intact, and somebody else is doing my dirty work for me.
So filthy.
So
filthy.
Dude, it's awful.
I spent the early part of the week being like, do not arrest this guy. Now I'm like, we got to arrest this guy.
You have to because it'll happen again if you don't.
No, it's just, you can't get, I don't want to say you can't get away with this because it's not a matter of, do they get sent to jail for 5 years? Like, if I could ever get, wave a magic wand and everyone go, oh, hey, it turns out Anthony Fauci was responsible for COVID. He funded it. At least maybe people wouldn't see him as some sort of deity on the left any longer. Maybe that's enough for me.
Knowing that his legacy is upended.
It's gone.
Yeah.
That everyone goes, what a crook. In the way that people treated OJ around America for years. Now, granted, that's a double murder. That's different. But at the same time, it's dirty pool. Like, there's people that ruin their reputation, they never get it back.
Well, think about it, dude. What you just said, that was a double murder. They sent 2 people to murder Trump.
Allegedly.
I know. I can't.
Tried to blow his head off on live television. I wonder why. Because everything else wasn't working. But somebody needs to go to prison for this. And if it's not Barack Obama, then he needs to have his entire legacy tarnished over this. And maybe that's all you might get in a trial. But that might be enough given how much he valued it, where he was decided to stay in D.C., be the first president to do that in 100 years, and to, instead of having a peaceful transition of power, remember, a peaceful transition of power, Trump won't walk away. Trump did walk away. Barack Obama didn't. Barack Obama made it a point. On my way out, I'm going to drop so many landmines here so that you can't possibly have a peaceful transition.
And now we see the erosion. We see the straw that broke the camel's back, and that was going into Trump's home. So now he is going guns a-blazing, full, I'm coming and I'm bringing hell with me to destroy your legacy that was so important. Just like you're saying, so important. All the veneer I'm going to strip it away. I'm taking the wallpaper down. I'm busting this thing down to the studs. I'm getting rid of your funding, USAID, all that. I'm tearing it apart. And they must have known that he was going to do this, or had some inclination that he had the urge to tear down everything that the Democrats had built over the last 50 years. Not just Obama's legacy. He wanted to get it all.
This is not in any way tinfoil hat. I'm explaining how this stuff works. Once the big, beautiful bill was done and it was passed, and we talked about all these victories, they knew what he was turning to. They knew because the staff he put around him and what they were planning on doing and the investigations that were going on. They knew, the other side, being the Democrats, what was coming. Why did they sit on Epstein and all of that for the better part of 4 years and never let that out? Then suddenly, right after the big, beautiful bill, they started talking about it.
Surprise! Like a jack in the box.
They were trying to create a distraction. As much as they want to be like, you know what? They're just trying to create a distraction from Epstein. Epstein is small potatoes. It doesn't matter. As much as we get to say, yeah, it's a pretty horrible scenario, but he's dead, his accomplice is in prison, and anybody else you want to go get, all right, unseal the documents. Show us who you think was part of this, and maybe justice finds him down the road. But this is different than the President of the United States setting up the next President of the United States in order to criminalize him and get him into prison.
Knowing you wanted him either imprisoned or dead. Knowing that you would do anything in the world to get him out of there, to kick him out, to make sure that he's not able to do anything that he campaigned on.
This is the exact meaning that SCOTUS found when it came to unofficial act. You ran a dark campaign. This was not an official act. This was not, hey, we're looking, you made it.
He said it himself. He was in his basement.
You gave a direct order for the CIA to create information by which you could look into this guy, you could spy on him, you could eventually prosecute him. That is not an official act. You do not have presidential immunity.
By no means.
January 1st, 2024, Trump versus United States. As it turns out, when the left was like, well, now he can do anything he wants. No, it's not true. At the same time, neither can Barack Obama.
What was the date? December 8th when they pulled the president's daily brief. They pulled that back. Then they had the meeting. Then he ordered the ICA, the Intel Community Assessment. They limited who could be working on it. Brennan knew his guys that would say what he needed said. They rushed it 3 weeks instead of 9 months. And they got what they wanted. Tulsi said it best, that manufactured intel. It wasn't politicized intel. It was completely manufactured. That opened the Russia hysteria. That opened Russiagate. And now you get to see it up close. Donald Trump knew it then. He knew it when he was on 60 Minutes. And now he's sharing everything he has with you so you can see it and not have any doubt in your mind. Tug and Los until 10. On Extra 106.3, 6 o'clock hours brought to you by Subaru of Gwinnett. When we continue, poor Presbo. All his clout's gone. Next on Extra.
The Morning Extra on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3 FM.
Good morning, it's Los. Let's talk about True Prep. Now, True Prep, you know that as a store right on 1000 Kyle Parkway in Marietta, where you can go to get ready for just about anything that is out there. Also, when it comes to getting ready for anything out there when you're out and about, well, they can help you with that as well. True Prep has actually been putting together some workshops. Now, first off, you can always go to trueprep.com. You can check out any of their gear. They also have their used guns and gear section, their sales and clearance, but also take a look at the right side. They have their events workshop. What blew up last month was their firearm fundamentals for first-time buyers. Now, the class basically is they walk you through the process. If you're looking into personal security, maybe for the first time or maybe for just a loved one, this is a great class to line people out for. Not only do you put the right gun in their hand, but it's about safety, it's about security, it's about making sure that that weapon is stored safely, and then you can then teach them what to do from there. That is what the class was last month. It was so incredibly successful, they've added 2 more. You can go to trueprep.com, click on the events and workshops area, and right there, or even the top of the page, they've got a new banner ad that's pointing it out. August 3rd and August 24th. Those are the next 2 dates where, again, True Prep is encouraging you, get that firearm or get that firearm for a loved one and enroll them in the class. Get them all set up for that. That is what True Prep does from start to finish, takes care of you all the way around. Go to trueprep.com. That's TRUprep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow with True Prep.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Thursday, July 24th. The Atlanta Braves ended up dropping 2 of 3 to the San Francisco Giants at Truist Park, including a 9-3 loss yesterday afternoon. Today, the team is off before opening up a weekend series in Arlington against the Texas Rangers. Football is on the way from the NFL. The morning on-field workouts will begin for the Falcons as training camp 2025 begins. The team will be on the field from Flowery Branch starting at 9:30. There are no holdouts on the roster for this training camp. With your sports updates, I'm Carlos Medina.
Command the road this summer in a new 2025 GMC Sierra Crew Cab 4-wheel drive elevation or SLT, powered by the legendary 5.3-liter V8.
Right now at Jim Ellis Buick GMC, save $10,950 off MSRP, plus take an extra $2,500 off with a qualifying trade for an impressive total savings of $13,450. With more than 80 Sierras in stock at Jim Ellis Buick GMC, you can drive yours home today. Visit JimEllisBuickGMC.com to start or complete your entire purchase online.
Or shop in person on Peachtree Boulevard just inside the perimeter or on Highway 20 in Beaufort. Jim Ellis Buick GMC, we are professional grade. Offer applies to 2025 GMC Sierra Crew Cab and 4-wheel drive elevation and SLT models with 5.3 V8. Example stock number GS4511, MSRP $67,574. After $10,950 in Jim Ellis discounts, sale price is $56,624. Excludes TABT and state fees. $2,500 trade-in assistance applies to 2011 or newer trade-ins. Expires 7/31/25.
This is Window Nation, your source for affordable replacement windows at the highest quality. So if your old windows have you boiling in the summer and freezing in the winter, you need the pros at Window Nation with installation precision and experience that are second to none. Their custom windows are guaranteed to be a perfect fit, and they're backed by the best warranty in the industry. Go to GetWindowNation.com or call 866-90Nation for your free estimate. And for a limited time, get 50% off all window styles, plus pay no interest for 5 years.
Good morning, Mike. What you eating?
You gotta try this.
I can hear you crunching from the next cube over.
This is amazing. I just discovered it this weekend at Lidl. It's Greek Goddess Gourmet Granola. They were sampling it, so I tried it. Then I bought 6 bags.
Wow. Is it cereal?
Can be, or an amazing trail mix. It's great for a meal or a snack.
What's in it?
Well, they have 2 flavors, maple oat and harvest nut, which is my favorite. It's made with whole grain oats, almonds, pecans, raisins, coconut, and the sweet taste of pure maple syrup. Maple oat is a simpler take on their delicious granola. It's got wholesome oats, plump raisins, coconut, and maple syrup.
That sounds healthy and delicious.
That's why I can't stop crunching, Susan.
Greek Goddess Gourmet Granola. It's a breakfast or on-the-go snack you can feel good about. It's dairy-free and gluten-free, and with only 2 grams of added sugar per serving, even your belly will love it. Pick some up at Lidl, Amazon, GreekGoddessGourmet.com, or at specialty stores near you.
The right partner makes all the difference. For more than 185 years, we've forged personal relationships with our customers and communities, funding economic development and rallying around the causes that are important to our neighbors. With the technology, products, and expertise you'd expect from a big bank and the local decision-making and commitment to community from your neighborhood bank, United Bank Shares is your trusted financial partner for life. Learn more at bankwithunited.com. United Bank Shares, member FDIC.
The Kimmer Show is only on Extra 106.3 every weekday afternoon on your drive home.
Again, I have seen like 4 minutes of Field of Dreams. I'm sorry.
What's wrong with you?
I know it's wrong.
It'll make you cry in a good way.
I do that every night anyway.
That's better than Ambien.
Well, yeah, you know. Cry myself to sleep.
The Kimmer Show every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.
Tug and Los until 10 on Extra 106.3. Los told me the greatest story. Where he and his
it's my stepdad
down there in the basement doing some electrical work, but so it saves them a whole grip of money from having to hire a company come in. You get a bunch of it knocked out, then you bring them in to do the finishing touches, but you save yourself a couple grand.
We were installing a sub panel, and he knows how to do all this work. He's trained in it, but he's not state certified, because obviously he doesn't live here.
Yeah.
So whenever we have done this work, and we haven't done it for the better part of like 15 years, that was like the previous basement.
No, welcome back.
We do all the work, then we bring in an electrician to sign off on it, and then we're good.
Love it.
That's how we do it. And again, save a crazy ton of money doing it that way. We're like 3 hours into like a sub panel and all the work we're doing to get everything done, and he randomly just tells me, "Hey, don't touch that." It's like, "What do you mean? Why?" He goes, "Well, it's hot." Like, are you telling me we've been doing all
for 4 hours? You didn't think to tell me 4 hours ago?
You didn't think maybe we should turn off the power to this thing? Well, I didn't want to inconvenience anybody in the house.
That's right.
Went outside.
I just work around it. It's fine.
Turned the whole power off to the house, and then we got the last hour and a half done in the dark. But that was felt a lot better about that.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's like I'm going to get electrocuted, aren't I?
4 hours in. They don't touch the radio.
4 hours in. Hey, make sure you don't. And it was like, it turned into like an Indiana Jones sort of scenario where he's got a pair of pliers and he's trying to hold it in place while then using a screwdriver to screw in this one thing that he wants into this panel. And the whole time, if you move half an inch to the right, it turns into I was like, I played Operation as a kid.
Seriously,
this is like real.
You hit the buzzer, man. It's not good. But if you do it in real life,
yeah. And I flat out was like, dude, why don't we just turn this thing off?
Yeah, that seems like a better plan.
It's like, well, okay.
I guess for him, and I'm not saying that you should do that. Please don't take me as saying you should do it like this. But he's probably just knows it inside now. He's so comfortable with it that he can work around. It doesn't even phase him. Doesn't affect him because he just knows. But for you,
well, it's different now.
It's a little bit different.
You know, he's 73 years old.
Yeah, I do.
And he flat out told me, he goes, "My eyes don't work and my hands shake a lot." It's like, well, I guess I'll be doing this next part.
Exactly. You want me to hold that? Because remember the Operation game? You're real close. You're over there shaking, man. You might accidentally, boom.
We went and got a beer. And by the time we got back to the house, he tells my mom and my wife, he's like, "Well, thank goodness for his eyes and his hands because they don't shake." It's like, oh my God.
Dude, we could have burned that whole house down.
You'll be electrocuted. So round 2 today.
Oh, buddy.
Now it's supposed to be the easy, like we did the difficult part. Now this is supposed to be the easy part. We'll do a handful of little things here and there. And then, like I said, we're not going to run line to all the boxes, but we're going to set up everything in the basement. So
we did the easy part yesterday. We were on the high wire with the safety
I was going to get electrocuted.
Yeah, no safety net below.
Talking about getting struck by lightning yesterday.
I know,
right?
Told you, I have a weird fear of this, and I was this close.
I was talking about it on my little country show last night. There was a delivery driver, comes to this dude's house to drop off something, and it's all caught on the Ring camera. And a lightning bolt hits right next to where the dude is standing. And you hear the man whose house it is talking to the delivery driver through the Ring camera and says, "Hey, man, you need to come in and check your britches." It was so good.
You almost got electrocuted, man.
So good. But it's just
pretty quick by him.
I'm telling you, man. In that dude's face, the guy that was near the oh man, it was so funny and so horrifying if it's you.
It's a strange fear to have, but I firmly believe whenever the skies open up, like it's coming for me.
That's right. And remember on that was a Great Outdoors.
Great Outdoors.
Got hit 66 times.
It struck by lightning, and when the storm blows over, he just looks up in the sky like, "Oh, again? Here we go."
Oh, go! And he's trying to haul out of there, and it's so funny because Roman, the character by Dan Aykroyd, he's like, "What's up with that hair? You got skunk hair going over there." And John Candy's character, or whatever it is, Ripley or something, he's like, "Dude, take it easy, man. We can insult the man." It's just, that movie is so classic. It's so good.
It's just the whole bear scene when the bear's on the door, jumping up and down on John Candy.
It's great.
I don't know why that cracked me up so much as a kid. It's hilarious.
Just thinking about a big, huge bear.
Big, huge bear.
Using John Candy as a trampoline.
Big bear chase me.
So good. I don't think and I was, I don't know, 10 or 12 when that movie came out, and we watched it in the theater. And the scene where he shoots him, and the bear's, the hair off his butt comes in, and it's just his bare butt there. And as a child, and I still laugh at it today because I remember how I laughed at it so hard as a child. So good. So good. They just don't make movies like that anymore, y'all. They just don't. Quickly. The clout Obama has always had is GONE, gone like a freight train.
Yeah, I was reading this. We talked about Larry Elder, and I really respect that guy. I think he's pretty precise when it comes to what he brings up. And once again, he pointed out that if Obama was to get indicted, not arrested, not perp walked, that'd be nice. But he talked about how he'll immediately play the race card and this country will be on fire. I think he greatly overestimates where Barack Obama is, because the more people I kind of, ask around, what do you think about this person? I think Obama is much more important to white liberal cat ladies. He's much more important to the 20%.
No doubt.
I don't think he holds the clout that he once did.
The thing Larry Elder gets right, though, is that he's going to play the race card.
Of course.
That's a no doubt.
But who are the people that come to the defense as quickly as possible? White liberal cat ladies.
Well, and Al Sharpton. Because I saw him on MSNBC last night just going scorched earth.
Because he's got money involved.
Of course.
He knows, hey, this is a moneymaker for me.
Yeah, it is.
Here comes the Jamel Hills of the world. Like, oh, look at this. But to me, when you talk about a 19% approval rating for Democrats, that is white liberal cat lady and, non-masculine man. And typically neither one of them are minorities. And they're the ones that are like, hey, what they're doing is racist. Whereas the rest of the community and everybody else goes, yeah, it's Obama. I don't think it holds that same clout. I don't think it's going to cause, if it ever did happen, hypothetically, although please,
That's right.
I don't believe it's going to have the impact that people like Larry Elder believe it's going to.
I think the people that scream the loudest, the only thing I would say is that the news media, not that they have the clout that they used to.
The story, they haven't covered it all. Suddenly,
all of a sudden, that's when the switch will flip and they will cover it night and day the same way, with just screaming racism and weaponization of the justice system and the DOJ and all that.
Mark my words. If they haven't covered it until it finally happens, and that's the way it is right now, it will not have anywhere near the fervor. You have to prime the pump for this stuff. And that's what they're not priming the pump. They're actually avoiding it like it's not happening.
It's exactly right. They are acting like this is a non-story. And it's not, and I know it's not.
Non-story, like it doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
Like it's make-a-believe.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Like it's not even happening. Like there's a volcano going up. No, there's not. There's a tornado. Nope.
What tornado do you speak of? The one behind my house.
Yeah, that's exactly right. When we come back, Tulsi keeps throwing fuel on that Obama fire. Next on Extra 106.3.
Neil Bortz is only live on Extra 106.3, bringing you daily commentary on the biggest topics of the day. Catch him throughout the day or hear his latest on the Extra 106.3 app.
At Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs, you can take advantage of employee pricing on select new Ford models. That means that you pay what Ford employees pay. No markup, no hidden fees. It's all part of Ford's bold campaign, from America for America. While other dealerships may raise prices due to auto tariffs, Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs is stepping up, giving you the power to save big on American-made vehicles. Choose from bestsellers like the F-150, the rugged Bronco, the capable Explorer, and now when you purchase or lease a new Ford EV like the all-electric Mustang Mach-E, you'll receive a complimentary home charger and standard installation, making your switch to electric even easier. At Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs, you're not just getting a great deal, you're getting award-winning service from a locally family-owned dealership.
They're just 4 miles north of 285 on Roswell Road. Visit them online at jimellisford.com.
Jim Ellis Ford Sandy Springs, where you pay what we pay, where you can always expect the best.
Join A Second Chance Bail Bond CEO Daniel Madelon and host Tug Coward for the weekly radio show Back Your Blue. They will highlight special initiatives, criminal justice programs, and community events aimed at keeping our communities safer. Tune in Saturdays at 10 a.m. to learn some good news about and from the law enforcement and justice communities. This week's guest is Ken Ashley, chairman of the Fulton County Sheriff's Foundation. Tune in on Saturdays or catch up on all past episodes wherever you get your podcasts or at thepodcastpark.com.
No one plans on going to jail, but when it happens, it's important that you know who to call. Call A Second Chance Bail Bonds, where we believe everyone deserves a second chance. Whether your loved one's been arrested in Cherokee, Clayton, or any of the other metro Atlanta counties in between, A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
You could save big when you bundle your auto, home, motorcycle, RV, or boat. Visit progressive.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-555-1509. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-555-1509. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-555-1509. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-555-1509 or biglou.com.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. This hour is presented by Van Sant Law, vansantlaw.com.
They may talk as soon as today. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche and Ghislaine Maxwell, the Jeffrey Epstein associate who's in prison, convicted of her role in sex trafficking underage girls. The House Oversight Committee also wants to talk to Maxwell.
Republican Chairman James Comer issued the subpoena after the committee approved it in support. A letter from Comer says, quote, "It is imperative that Congress conduct oversight of the federal government's enforcement of sex trafficking laws generally and specifically its handling of the investigation and prosecution of you and Mr. Epstein." House Speaker Mike Johnson has questioned whether she can be a trustworthy witness.
That's Fox's Ryan Schmelz. In the push for the release of the Epstein files, a federal judge denied an attempt to have grand jury documents unsealed. As the Wall Street Journal reports, President Trump has been told his name is among many in the files, which the White House calls a fake story. The president loses again in court in his attempt to prevent children born to parents here illegally from being U.S. citizens. A federal appeals court ruled it's unconstitutional.
The president has long criticized the policy as a magnet for illegal immigration and argued he could end it by executive authority. But several courts are saying only Congress or a constitutional amendment could change it. The issue is now one step closer to the Supreme Court.
That's Fox's Tom Rigotti. Columbia University has worked out a settlement with the federal government, paying $200 million to get twice that amount in federal grants restored. The money revoked as the Trump administration alleged Jewish students' rights were violated when Columbia allowed destructive pro-Palestinian protests. In a statement, Columbia admits reform is needed and students experience painful incidents. Brian Kohberger is starting the rest of his life in prison.
No one will care who you are, and no one will ever respect you. You will be forgotten, discarded, used, and erased.
That's Christy Gonzalez talking to Kohberger at his sentencing. Her daughter Kaylee was one of the 4 University of Idaho students he murdered in 2022. Kohberger refused to make a statement. America's listening to Fox News.
A couple years ago, I was in the bathroom at the airport when I dropped my smartphone in the toilet. Not smart. I was multitasking when I should have been focused on the job at hand. Embarrassing, but I'm not alone. According to Google, 7 million other multitaskers accidentally dropped their phones into the bowl last year. A gentle reminder that right now you can get yourself a brand new Samsung Galaxy A36 absolutely free with a $35 plan from Pure Talk. The A36 comes with scratch-resistant Gorilla Glass and a battery that'll last all day, along with unlimited talk, text, and data on America's most dependable 5G network. In other words, it's tough and smart. Something to think about next time you're multitasking in the necessary. Just dial pound 250, say keyword micro to get your free phone today. You can make the switch in just 10 minutes. That's pound 250. Say micro to switch to a no-nonsense smartphone and a company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
This is Tucker Carlson. You're listening to Atlanta's only conservative talk station, Xtra 106.3, worldwide on the Xtra app.
Tug and Los until 10. Thank you for being here. 404-741-1230 at Xtra 106.3 across the social media platforms. So easy to find, so easy to interact with, and we always invite you to do so.
Welcome to Thursday.
Woohoo!
You're so close.
Yeah!
Such a magical time.
Yes, sir, it is. I mean, we got China Grove rolling. What more do you ask for us?
One of my favorite riffs ever.
Hard not to love it. All the dukes are good, man.
Somebody could bring Tug a cake.
Yes. Yes, they could, Los.
What more you can ask for?
Yes, that's right. And a scoop of chocolate ice cream go on with it.
And you may be asking, well, why does he need a cake? And I would say, why not?
Because why not? That's the better question. Why not?
Because it's Thursday.
I love that. Dude, Los is on today.
July 24th of 2025, the only one you'll ever have.
That's right. You don't get this back.
Get Tug a cake.
Thank you. And bring Los some vegan cookies or something.
I'll take a slice of pie.
Yeah, slice of pie for Dre.
Well, now you're asking too much.
No. Seriously, there's a line you can't cross.
That's why I didn't even ask for cookies.
Well, but you should know if we're getting something. If everybody was, I'm not going to accept cake unless everybody gets something. I wouldn't be able to do it. And we're not with a clear conscience.
Stop winking.
Yeah. Just kidding.
Tug will take that cake anytime.
Carve through it.
And then Dre will be like, hey, can I get a piece of that? And he's like, hey, buddy, for me.
No. The answer is no,
Just
pal.
a mouthful of cake.
That's right.
Cookie.
That's right.
I'm busy.
We have a friend that's turning 50, and for her birthday, we're going to go up to Lake Lanier. We've Airbnb'd a house and got a pontoon. We're just going to go hang out for Friday night, Saturday night, and go home Sunday. Nothing extraordinary, nothing extravagant, but just fun time with about 5 or 6 different families. And
is it couples only, or are we doing like the kids?
No, kids aren't coming.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It is couples only because there's not room for the kids.
Dropping the keys in the fish bowl?
How are you doing? Come on.
That pineapple doing over there?
That's right. I'm drinking a pineapple rainstorm this morning.
Mr. Neil Bortz, do you have a purple loofah that I can borrow?
That's right. Or at least I'm going to run by Walmart and get one.
But please look that up on Google. We learned that from Neil Bortz, everyone.
Right. Gross. Hello, gross. But funny. It doesn't change.
Really funny.
Really funny.
Like 3 years ago. Still have not gotten that out of my mind.
And probably never will. We went to, we were going to get her one of those cookie cakes.
Nice.
At the mall. But closed. It's because it's a mall. My wife was like, do you realize the cookie company closed? And I was like, yeah, it's at the mall. Nothing. Who goes to the mall? I mean, nothing's going on there. What's left there at the mall except that there's like a theater and maybe a Macy's, and then that's it.
From what I understand, like Cumberland, like across the street, that's going to be turned into a different hotel to go along with the current hotel.
Yeah.
So that now Murph's over there, like the one business that actually is in there, apparently they're going to have some sort of place that they're still able to operate in.
I'm sure, because there's restaurants and hotels all the time. So
but
that
and what, maybe North Point? And
no, North Point's where Laura was going.
Okay.
So I mean, dude,
that's
it
disappearing, and Lennox is what it is.
Yeah, nobody goes there because you're afraid to get shot and killed. You just walk.
Don't go to Lennox.
You get shot and killed. So they say.
Like y'all are stealing Neil's thunder on his commentary today.
Oh no!
Yeah. Well, wait a minute. That's at the end of the hour, so it'll be.
I had no idea.
Nor did I.
Simpatico.
Well, the funny part is because every now and then he'll complain that we beat him to the punch on things, not knowing, and it doesn't air until next hour at 8 o'clock. We actually beat him to the punch on accident.
That's right. Who knew he'd be talking about those purple loofahs again? So you don't have to look it up. I kid. Tulsi Gabbard, I think the world of her. She is really awesome. She's so cool, man. Los has said this before, and it didn't hit me the way maybe it does y'all, because y'all watch the superhero movies, and my wife does. I just never do. But when she was standing up there delivering it so more professionally than even a journalist would, there was no ups and downs. It was so even keeled. And she's just laying things out. And I mean, the Obama legacy's just taking punches like Clubber Lang, man, just killing him. And she's got that stripe of white in her hair. And I was like, good Lord, she looks like a superhero up there.
We joked around about how this was the Avengers Assemble.
Yeah.
You know, as far as what Donald Trump had put together. One of the things we pointed out was that he has a group of people that have no problem getting out in front of people live or on television or sitting at a podium or standing at a podium. And she's one of them, where the media experience is so extensive that when it comes to, here, lay this out, lay out the argument, she does it succinctly, professionally, and it makes it really hard to argue where you're the one babbling, trying to ask a question to her.
And I know you put it in your notes that when we saw Caitlin Collins try to do that, and you want to talk about circling the wagons, because Tulsi was up there and Tulsi responded to Caitlin's question, but then Carolyn Levitt, like Avengers
She's like
Assembly,
lurking.
She was like, I'll take this, and gets in there and then just starts just throwing punches. And but not wild punches.
No, very direct.
So direct. She knew exactly what she was going to say. She knew exactly what she was going to talk about. She knew exactly how she was going to lay it out. Those ladies are so impressive. But I could not help, and maybe you saw this too, when you see Tulsi Gabbard up there and she looks like a daggum superhero I mean, she's a lovely lady to begin with. Super cool, served her country in the military. She's a surfer. I didn't know that until y'all told me that yesterday or the day before. But you see her up there, and it's always impressive. I want you to hear from her some of the things that she said, because it was everything that we had told you. Everything that we had discussed, she lays it out again. And not that you shouldn't take it from us, but you have to take it from her.
The stunning revelations that we are releasing today should be of concern to every American. This is not about Democrats or Republicans. This has to do with the integrity of our democratic republic and American voters having faith that the votes cast will count. There is irrefutable evidence that detail how President Obama and his national security team directed the creation of an intelligence community assessment that they knew was false. They knew it would promote this contrived narrative that Russia interfered in the 2016 election to help President Trump win, selling it to the American people as though it were true. It wasn't. The report that we released today shows in great detail how they carried this out. They manufactured findings from shoddy sources. They suppressed evidence and credible intelligence that disproved their false claims. They disobeyed traditional tradecraft intelligence community standards and withheld the truth from the American people. In doing so, they conspired to subvert the will of the American people who elected Donald Trump in that election in November of 2016.
They went around traditional tradecraft. I love that she said that, because we laid this out for you yesterday. Clapper, he handpicked 5 people that he knew would go along with whatever they wanted.
And one draftee.
Exactly right. And they used information that hadn't been vetted. That was something that came out in some of the paperwork that was released yesterday, pages 16, I think, if you go back and look at it. And what it was is basically there was say 15 pieces of information gathered from sources, from CIA agents, that had not been vetted. It could have said anything, but no one had vetted it. No one had said, hey, where'd this come from? Who said it? Why'd they say it? Where'd they get the information from? There was no questioning of the information. They just used it.
There was only 3 out of the 15 sources that they'd actually looked into, and the information was considered low confidence, inconclusive. And yet, as we talked about yesterday, at that point, the water was muddied, and they could come up with whatever they wanted to.
And did.
Don't you have this impression, for everyone that talks about Tug, well, I mean, you can't possibly prosecute a former president. Obviously, we saw what happened.
They did.
In the last 4 years. Do you not feel like they've opened up the door to where you have to do this? Like you have to be told by a judge or somebody else, I'm throwing this out. Yes. Like this has to be pushed to the furthest extent that you possibly can.
Absolutely, yes. It's funny. I told you last hour my son was driving home from Charleston back to Oak Island where he played ball last night in their first playoff game. Super cool. And he had so many questions, but his end result after we got finished with the whole thing, because he didn't ask questions. He asked the original question, got my answer, listened the whole time, and then responded. And he said, "Dad, do you think anything happens?" Because I don't. He's like, "I think they get away with it." And I said, the only thing that changes here is the fact that Donald Trump is not going to let it go.
No.
He is not going to just say, like he did with Hillary Clinton, "We're going to let this go," former president's wife. He even said, "I'm glad I did that then." I'm not sure I believe him when he says that necessarily, but the whole point is Donald Trump is not going to let this go. He feels like what you're saying, that you have to get this corrected.
That, and he doesn't have to win another election.
That's right. So there's no reason for him not to.
So why not? You got the right bulldog, right time.
Yep.
Now,
and timing is everything.
Absolutely. Now, how far it goes, we will see.
Because it is, dude, this is not going to be an easy case. It's even though we have incredible evidence, there's a reason our court systems are set up to be difficult to prosecute somebody. You're considered innocent until proven guilty. And if they can't prove that, then it falls away.
We'll get into it next hour. I do have it figured out how Obama gets out of this.
Squirms out of it.
But the damage it'll do to his legacy, and maybe that's going to be the only victim here. That might be the one scalp you get to hold up and say, told y'all this guy was a total fraud. Like, he'll never be able to go out on another campaign trail and hold any clout.
But to me, that's just not good enough.
I know.
I know what you're saying. You're probably right. Most likely right. But I don't think people listening right now, and I know you don't think that's enough. I cannot for the life of me think that would be the only thing that his reputation's tarnished.
I know I go back to Anthony Fauci because he's the Pol Pot of our current era. He ended up having 5 million people dead on his watch, not even including what happened during the whole AIDS era. I want that man to walk down the street every single day and people to whisper behind his back, that guy killed 5 million people. And he can walk freely the rest of his life. And any store he walks into, any restaurant he sits down at, the waiter goes to like the maitre d' or over to the chef. "Hey, Fauci's at my table. He killed 5 million people." Like, I want the same thing for Barack Obama, where everyone looks at, hey, he's the former president, but look what this guy did. And I don't know if that is realistic, because there's always going to be this fervor of people, that 19% that'll be like, oh, he's godlike.
You played me the audio
from my mother.
Oh my gosh.
Which couldn't have been more insane when you speak rationally to these people. I know my mom was asking me a question, but last night she was looking for a fight. And keep in mind, I didn't bring up politics or talk about politics. But her thing was, hey, explain to me what's going on with this Epstein stuff. And as I got into it, it really just turned into, she just wanted to yell about Trump.
Pick a little bit.
She just wanted to fight about Trump.
Yeah.
Now,
but that's the percentage of people that you're talking about.
That's the people. It won't matter whatever you did to Barack Obama. But if you can damage his legacy, that's probably going to be about as far as you're going to be able to get. Now, I'd love it to be more, but we'll see.
And maybe it's not Obama. Maybe he doesn't take the fall.
Oh, no, I think other people go to prison.
Now, see, that if his reputation is unable to be repaired, as you're describing, and half of those people go to jail, a couple of those people to jail, maybe I'll be satisfied. You call it the pound of flesh. Maybe that'll be enough for me. And hopefully it'll be enough for people moving forward to go, we can't do this. Look, they put people in jail for this.
One of the aspects when it comes to Trump versus United States from July 1st, 2024, that is the definition of presidential immunity. But again, gray area. It just says the president has immunity in these cases. One of the things it points out is that immunity applies to the president. Now, again, not in all cases. It's not general. It's not everything. You can do stuff that are considered unofficial acts, and you do not have presidential immunity. But it also points out, and those in the Oval Office. If the idea was that these people all enjoy immunity, that would be under the whole idea of presidential immunity. Now, I think that would be a very wide ranging of what you'd be dealing with, because you should have your CIA director go to prison.
Without a doubt.
You should have your FBI director go to prison.
Without a doubt. Those people belong in jail, behind bars. You know it, I know it, Los knows it, Trey. Everybody listening right now knows it. Even if you don't agree with it, you know it. That's the thing. Even the people that are like, I'm an Obama guy, I'm a Democrat, have voted that way all my life. You know, if you look at what has been laid out, that they belong in jail. Whether you support them going to jail, different story altogether. But the deep state has got to be damaged to the point that they stop behaving this way. And I don't think it's human nature to stop doing things. You have to be forced to. You have to be persuaded, maybe, for going to jail like that. But that's the thing, the elimination of the deep state, that's the ultimate goal, Los, is to stop this underbelly, this political class of people that think they're above voting. They think they're above the American citizens. They think they're above the president, really.
I want to give the credit to Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon was with Tucker Carlson probably about 2 months ago. And they had this discussion where Steve Bannon, a guy who's done time in prison because of some of the games that get played in Washington.
You're talking about a guy that is pulling for people to be punished.
He can tell you as a former naval officer, here's what's wrong with the deep state. But he's also been very adamant. If there was ever a time where it's weakened, it's ready to go down, it's now. And he's been very adamant. If you don't do it now, you're never going to be able to get a chance to do it. And so I want you to take a quick gander here. Listen to what Steve Bannon was saying on his show when it comes to War Room. Steve Bannon recognizes Barack Obama and the deep state have an issue.
Obama would not be out trying to defend himself. He didn't realize he got a big problem. When a president of the United States in the Oval Office, next to a head of state who's here on a very important visit, the Philippines are one of the linchpins to our strategy against the Chinese Communist Party, and on global television, because they're all following those pressers, says that he's guilty of treason. That's a big event. It was big enough, the mainstream media, this is just Trump's crazy talk. They started serious enough that Obama's spokesman immediately came out and tried to give this fluffy misdirection thing, which was nothing but a, wait for it, bald-faced lie. So we're now into this thing. And I think you're going to see what John Solomon said about a federal task force. I think you're going to see either a special prosecutor or one of these U.S. attorneys solely assigned to get to the bottom of all this, including the Epstein situation.
You may not get Barack Obama. Now, granted, that's the Super Bowl for me.
Right.
I was like, him, Fauci. Okay, this is my Super Bowl. Here's my dream scenario. But if you can take out the deep state. And what is the deep state? The deep state are the people that believe that they're in charge no matter what. And if you happen to also change the power that they have moving forward through legislation, then you've won. That's the win. That's the long term, because there's always going to be men who crave power even after you get rid of all of these guys. There'll be another run of them. How do you hinder those people moving forward?
And those people are still in our government. I told you yesterday that those people still exist. The people that supported this fake intel assessment, that supported it all, those people are still working in our government today, still in the CIA, still in the FBI. Those people must be rooted out. And the reason I bring that back up is because Tulsi Gabbard said it in that press conference too. A lot of the people that supported this are still there. They have to be scared to do stuff like this. They have to understand the consequences of doing stuff like this. And to Los's point, and Bannon's point too, about Barack Obama speaking up, James Clapper got a lawyer yesterday. He lawyered up. He's like, I know what's coming down the track.
Lawyer up, boys.
I know what I did. I'm getting me a lawyer really, really quickly. And he did. Russia has lots of dirt, but it wasn't on Trump, as we found out yesterday. The details of what they had are fascinating. And our intel community knew it the entire time. Next on Extra.
Did you miss Neil Bortz?
I am shocked.
Don't worry. He's live anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Oh, that radio show.
Did traffic cause you to miss some of the Kimmer Show? Get it on the app.
It's all the kids talk about on Monday at school.
With anytime show replays from the Kimmer, Bortz, the Morning Extra, Clay and Buck, and so much more. Plus local headlines and breaking news. Grab the Extra 106.3 app now and start streaming.
Good morning, it's Los. Let's talk about Tom, the honest car guy. All right, what makes Tom so honest? First off, his entire process of securing your next vehicle. Hey, if you want to sit on the computer and do it with him, he'll do it with you. If you want to give Tom, here's my make, here's the model, here's what I want, and let Tom just go work, well, he'll do that too. Tom has secured cars in as short as 15 minutes for people, or he's sat and done the computer thing for several hours. It all depends on your level of involvement. Tom has run dealerships for years in the state of Georgia, and he decided to go out on his own and form his own company, and what does he do? Well, he takes your marching orders, make and model, and he goes and finds that car all around the country, and then he saves you thousands of dollars. He will end up showing you, I'm going to secure this vehicle. Here's the price I'm going to pay for it, which is what you're going to pay for it. That's basically, it's almost like having your own dealership that takes care of this for you, except you miss out on the fees. All you owe Tom is just the honest car guy fee at the end. That's it. That's all. That's how this game works. And when you do the math on it, and please do, you will see the thousands of dollars you're going to save when you work with Tom and the honest car guy. What do? Go to honestcarguy.com. That's honestcarguy.com. Or just give Tom a call, 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1.
Hi, I'm Chris Lalamia, owner of the Trusted Toolbox. Got a to-do list a mile long? No problem. We've got the ultimate solution, our Handyman for a Day program. Here's how it works. You get a skilled handyman dedicated to knocking out your honey-do list. Paint touch-ups, drywall repairs, door adjustments, and much more, all done in one day. Call us now before the rush for your Handyman for a Day, and call us at 770-623-3097 or visit us at thetrustedtoolbox.com. One call, one handyman, one day, the Trusted Toolbox.
By texting 26022, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Tax Lien Code. Message and data rates may apply. Terms apply. Available at taxliencode.com.
Imagine waking up and not needing to rush. No commute, no emails, no boss. Just coffee, sunlight, and the freedom to choose. That's the power of tax lien investing. It's been around for over 200 years, used by banks, hedge funds, and the wealthy. And now, finally, it's being taught right here in Atlanta. It's secure, predictable, passive income backed by real estate and mandated by state law. And it pays you, sometimes 15 to 35% returns. You don't need to own property. You just need to see how it works and how to do it right. We've taught over 100,000 students, and we'll teach you for free at a live masterclass right here in Atlanta. If you're ready to start building real wealth through tax lien investing, this is it. Text EARN to 26022 to reserve your free seat. That's EARN to 26022. But hurry, seats are limited. Text EARN to 26022.
Calling all contractors. This is Devin Stovall, Stovall & Company, and we're here for you. We're a third-generation, family-owned and operated company for 75 years and just opened our 11th location in Canton on 9500 Union Hill Road. We're proud to provide your wholesale irrigation, nursery, and landscape supply needs. How do you envision your dream outdoor space for you or your customers? We're here to fulfill them all. We all take pride in special requests and shipping right to your job site. Here at Stovall, we have it all. Check us out at StovallINC.com.
This is Window Nation, your source for affordable replacement windows at the highest quality. So if you've got old, drafty, sticking, or leaking windows, you need the experienced pros at Window Nation. You can pay a lot less and still get the premium windows you're dreaming of. Their custom windows are guaranteed to be a perfect fit, and they're backed by the best warranty in the industry. Go to GetWindowNation.com or call 866-90Nation for your free estimate. And for a limited time, get 50% off all window styles, plus pay no interest for 5 years.
Make going back to school a little more fun as the Brewers and Marlins come to Truist Park August 4th through the 10th. The week includes the Ronaldo Lopez bobblehead giveaway presented by Coca-Cola on August 4th, followed by the Ronald Acuna Jr. Funko Pop giveaway presented by Xfinity on August 6th. And new this year is the Batman Ticket Package, which includes a Batman bobblehead and a game ticket. Visit Braves.com/promos to purchase your tickets. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Thursday, July 24th. The Cobb County Commissioners voted to approve a $1.3 billion budget for 2026. Next year's budget maintains the current millage rate at 8.46 mils and avoids a $7 million deficit due to lower health care costs and rising property values. Higher internet speeds are coming to the city of Smyrna. City officials approved a deal with Google Fiber to begin installation along public right-of-ways for high-speed internet and TV access. The deal emphasizes that installations must be done with reasonable care. A temporary stop work order was issued in Brookhaven last December when a gas main was ruptured during related construction. And the kids are heading back to school soon. Pearson Middle School is hosting a back-to-school bash for Cobb County to provide nearly 1,000 backpacks filled with school supplies. The event begins tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Chick-fil-A meals will be provided courtesy of the Braves Home Plate Project, along with free health screenings and physicals. Today's weather slightly cooler today in the upper 80s with isolated thunderstorms in the afternoon. A major heat wave is on the way early next week. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
I can guarantee you that Vladimir Putin did not want Donald Trump to be the president. He was able to take over Crimea with Barack Obama in office. The years that Trump was in office the first term, you know what he did? Nothing. He did nothing. Soon as Joe Biden's back in office, what does he do? He invades Ukraine. He did not want Donald Trump to be the president. That was clear. That much is clear. So just the premise of the whole Russia collusion hoax is so absurd on the surface to begin with.
You're using a logical argument. These are people that lack logic.
That's right.
And they absorb so much propaganda that when you explain something logical to them, they reject it outright because it didn't come from the hive mind. It didn't come from their download. It's almost like it has to come from the teat of Rachel Maddow for them to accept it. Here, come get your info.
Yeah.
Come suckle this info.
Drink it up.
Right. Like I think about it as we get into more of the information that the Russians had on Hillary. I tried to explain last night to my mother of all people. You recognize that this administration and the Republicans in Congress are trying to get the Epstein information out there. I was like, why do you think they want to do that? Well, I don't know. It's like, because it absolves their guy. They're like, okay, we're good. Why do you think your side continues to reject it so that you can continue to write stories about it? And that is a logical argument, but that doesn't work. So in the same way that when you make the logical argument for what is going on between Russia and Trump and then Russia and the left, Hillary, Obama, etc., you can spell it out for them. Until they take the red pill on their own, you can't give it to them.
No, you can't force them. That's right.
This is what you're going to get.
Yeah, you're going to get crazy arguments that make no sense. And Los's sweet mother, who I've never had the pleasure of meeting.
Well, now you heard.
But I've heard.
That's pretty nutty.
Yeah, I mean, wow. It was just, he played a little recording that they did together, and it was
where I spelled out, let's walk through this logically.
And let me tell you, it was like a train taking a dirt road. It was not, I mean, it was bumpy. There was nothing smooth about it.
She went full on leftist nuts, where you just went, that doesn't make any sense.
The leftists won't listen to this argument, but then you probably will because you're logical listening. And we're going to get to some of the details. But can I say this first? I knew Hillary Clinton was not prepared to be president of the United States in two moments that I saw. One, the most important one for me was, remember the war room when they went and got Osama bin Laden? Her face as they took the most infamous terrorist in the world out, her face of absolute terror showed me in that very moment that she was not ready to be president. She was not ready for that moment. Her hand over her mouth gaping, eyes wide.
Well, she was probably strung out.
Well, there could be that.
All right, so that's number one. That was the first example.
The second one was when she went to the black Sprinter van, and that leads into the health discussion.
The 9/11 memorial on that date in 2016, and she's being thrown into the van like a piñata because she's so messed up.
That's right. That's exactly right.
How about at this point, what difference does it make?
But those are just, I mean, you go through 1,000 of those, right? Those statements that she made that would tell you, yes, that she's not ready.
For me, and again, I'm with the Sprinter van, The first one for me, outside of all the stuff with Benghazi, because that was clear that the leadership was never there. But when she stepped in it, referring to half the country as a basket of deplorables, went, oh, yeah, you don't know what you're doing here.
You have no idea.
You actually disparage half the country. Good luck.
But that, going back to, she was probably on some sort of incredible medication, some very powerful medication.
According to the Russians.
The Russians had that information, and our CIA knew it. Our FBI knew it.
This is part of the documents that Tulsi Gabbard shared with us yesterday.
Page 17, declassified House Intelligence Committee report. Russia had a lot of information and potential anti-Clinton dirt in leading up to that election, but they didn't use it. Why would they not use it?
Because they wanted her to be president so they'd have leverage.
That's exactly right. And they were convinced that she was going to win.
By the way, that's the logical conclusion.
Back to logic. They were convinced she was going to win. They knew she was going to win. So they were like, well, let's hold back. That way we can weaken her when she's in office. We can use this against her. Some of those internal documents that were released said that Hillary was on heavy tranquilizers and suffering from intensive psycho-emotional problems. And we've seen it 1,000 times, Los. How many times have you seen her? Remember the head shaking? Yes. And she had this crazy, wacky, like serial killer style smile on her face. And I don't remember what the scenario was when she was talking, but I've seen this clip 1,000 times.
When they were dropping the balloons when she received the nomination at the Democrat National Convention. Right.
It was
so shocking and so
like,
weird.
What is happening in front of my face? and then they said that she suffered from health ailments. They said they had evidence, and this is our CIA saying what the Russians had on Hillary Clinton. That she suffered from health ailments like type 2 diabetes and heart disease. Then internal DNC communications that Obama and others found Hillary's health, quote, extremely and extraordinarily alarming. These are just some of the things that the Russians thought. So you're trying to tell me that Donald Trump was colluding with the Russians and they wanted him to be president, so they were going to manipulate everything to make it happen, yet all the documents scream otherwise.
Whatever you're doing, blame your opponent. Again, Saul Alinsky tactic. It's rules for radicals. It almost sounds like they were concerned, did the Democrats, that they have so much stuff on Hillary Clinton and us. Let's put that on our opponent. Let's say they have it all on Donald Trump, and we'll keep that up for nearly 4 years. They had the goods on Trump. He's an asset. No, they had the goods on Hillary.
And planned to use them on Hillary because they were convinced she was going to win.
What a missed opportunity for them. They could have rode roughshod over the American president. Instead, they had to wait 4 years for Joe Biden to be the one they did it to.
Going to something more current, how Donald Trump has dismantled the USAID program. Because those NGOs, we know about them, some Catholic charities, they would have billions of dollars sent to them in support of bringing as many illegals as they could across the border. Little did I know that there was also NGOs out there that were being courted by Hillary Clinton and her campaign. This also from page 17 of the House Intelligence Committee report that has been declassified. And they went to these NGOs and had secret meetings with these religious leaders where Hillary Clinton offered significant increases in funding. Where did it come from? USAID. To support her campaign and make an outward endorsement of her.
If you'll just take care of me, I'll get you taken care of through an NGO in the back end.
Do you know how much money we will send your way? The State Department is going to single you out and pump you full of dough.
The Russians, according to this document, said that she was power hungry.
It didn't take the Russians to tell me that.
No, we've known that since the 90s.
But it's
but in a different way.
The fact that the Russians knew.
Like, by comparison, like everybody in Washington is power hungry. It's what are you willing to do? And I don't think that there was one moment where Hillary Clinton went, yeah, it's too far.
No, never.
Ever.
Never. So she...
Who's got to die?
Yeah. And that's just fine by me.
I mean, are we talking at this point now, it's 26 Clinton associates that have all committed suicide? Yeah. Huh. That's so strange. Who has 26, outside of if you were like a soldier who went to war and had people go through tremendous PTSD, what regular person of wealth has 26 people they know who have decided to mysteriously off themselves? Like, I know a lot of people that hung themselves in a tree and while hanging shot themselves with a shotgun.
Baffling how they pulled that off.
So great. Power hungry. The Russians were like, man, she's nuts.
The Russians were able to hack into the DNC servers. They tried to and probably were successful in the RNC servers too. But here's an incredible admission from the Democrat Party that the Russians discovered, and this was documented as well. This is some of the other things that Tulsi Gabbard has that declassified. Internal Democrat documents admit that European allies, our allies in Europe, the NATO partners, were, get this, unenthusiastic about a presidency for Hillary Clinton because they didn't think she was up to the job of Secretary of State. This is all information that the Russians had and were planning to use against Hillary Clinton. But no, Barack Obama tells you they're trying to get Trump elected.
You know, Tug, they were all just bought and paid for by Donald Trump. This is all like just fake information.
I feel like I've heard that this morning.
They were all scared of Donald Trump.
That's right. Just horrified of him.
It's all, these are things that we know to be true, but we didn't have any proof. Now that it's right in your face.
I don't know how you miss it.
I just wonder how many people, like, is this the red pill? Is this the moment?
It will be for us. You know, it takes so long, and it's such a small portion of people that go, oh, wait, they're onto something.
You think that she was just dehydrated? That's how she ended up in that van?
That's what they told us.
That's what they tried to tell us.
Well, they told us.
It's like, yeah, it's not dehydration.
No.
It's your body failing you.
If you were the Russians and you wanted Donald Trump, so leading into October, end of the summer, kind of where we are now, coming to the close of the summer, leading into the fall, the Russians knew that the Real Clear Politics average of Hillary Clinton was just plus 1.3. So she had the slightest, within the margin of error. If you wanted Donald Trump elected, man, you would have dropped all of this and used it to your advantage right then, but they didn't.
Tease Whoopi. She sounds like my mother.
Well, she says it's Donald Trump, and she said, don't worry about Barack Obama either. They're going to be fine. Everything should be just fine with old Presbo. Next on Extra.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Thursday, July 24th. The Atlanta Braves ended up dropping 2 of 3 to the San Francisco Giants at Truist Park, including a 9-3 loss yesterday afternoon. Today, the team is off before opening up a weekend series in Arlington against the Texas Rangers. Football is on the way from the NFL. The morning on-field workouts will begin for the Falcons as training camp 2025 begins. The team will be on the field from Flowery Branch starting at 9:30. There are no holdouts on the roster for this training camp. With your sports updates, I'm Carlos Medina.
Going to be a scorcher today. I love the heat. And look, as we get into August, it's going to get hotter. That's the thing about it. Everybody thinks, August, especially people not from here. They're like, August, man, the things are winding down. Kids getting ready to go back to school. Things will cool off. No. If you were born and raised in Georgia or lived here a long time, you know that is not the case. August may be the hottest month of the year. So what do? You want to make sure that your home's energy efficient. You want to make sure you got good windows and doors to keep all that hot air out and all the cool air that you're paying for in. Energy efficient windows from Southern Exteriors. Right now, you can get 10% off any job or 12 months, 0% financing to replace those old single pane windows that you probably can't open anyway because they're painted shut. Reason I know that is because I've replaced those windows twice in 2 different homes. And the upgrade that you get, the way your home looks, immediately puts a smile on your face. And then when you get that first new power bill and you see how much it's dropped because of the energy efficiency of the windows that you've installed with Southern Exteriors, that smile gets even bigger. How do you do it? So easy. 8779-SOUTHERN, 8779-SOUTHERN. Or go to southernexteriors.co. It's southernexteriors.co.
An investment in your home is something that will pay off in the future, but it's something that you can enjoy right now. Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, owner of all Four Seasons Garage, Entry Doors, and Windows. A beautiful new garage door, entry doors, and windows are an investment you can love every day, and they will increase your home's value, energy efficiency, and curb appeal. All Four Seasons, trusted in Atlanta for over 25 years, exceptional customer service, and high-quality work. When trust matters, trust us. All the number 4 Seasons Garage.
Hey, this is John Flading from ATL Turfco. We're a family-owned and operated independent local company here in the Atlanta area. We've been in business for over 15 years. We install several different types of artificial grass. One is landscape, which looks like real grass for your lawn. The next one is pet turf. Pet turf is a little bit shorter than landscape and it's more durable. And the other one is putting greens. If you can dream it, we can build it. Just go to atlturfco.com to schedule an appointment.
Hey, it's a Kimmer. Okay, you're driving along. Suddenly you hear that horrible sound of metal and crunching. It's an accident. Even if it's a little minor fender bender, man, that could be a nightmare. First, obviously, take care of yourself. But before you make a deal with an insurance company or anybody else, call David Van Sant with Van Sant Law. You know why? Because he used to work for the insurance company, so he knows how to get the right settlement and right away. Van Sant Law. Don't forget, if you don't get paid, they don't get paid. Protecting your interests. Insurance is great, but it's complicated. 855-GA-INJURY or vansantlaw.com.
Time now for the Retire Wise Report. James Parker here with financial advisor Sean Maloney, founder and CEO of Retire Wise. The big question for many of our listeners as they approach retirement is, will I be okay in retirement? Sean, how do you help someone figure out if they've saved enough to be comfortable?
Great question. There's a lot of different aspects to this, but the biggest thing is looking at risk. Look, there's a lot of different risks to your money, like market risk. There's healthcare costs, inflation, and taxes. All those need to be accounted for. Many people worry if they've saved enough. Am I going to outlive my money? Strategies to help preserve your wealth can be more important than the dollar amount that you saved. Get an analysis of your situation to help you get that clarity that you need.
Tell us about the offer you have for listeners.
If you're worried about if you'll be okay for retirement, you probably don't have a plan. You might not even know what I mean when I'm talking about, do you have a retirement plan? Well, we have a great resource for you guys. We have what's called the Retire Happy Framework Toolkit, and you can get that by calling or texting WISE to 770-802-2200. My team helped me put this thing together just for you, and it's a complimentary guide. And the center of this is a copy of my latest book, The Priority of Retirement. It has chapters from everything from investments to Social Security, income planning, and has other guides that go along with it as well, with some checklists in regards to all those different strategies and topics as well. So if you want to get that information in your hands today, call or text WISE to 770-802-2200. That's 770-802-2200.
Take advantage of this offer. Get your Retire Happy Framework today. Like Sean said, just text WISE to 770-802-2200. The team at Retire Wise will get you your Retire Happy Framework right away. So just call or text WISE to 770-802-2200. Investment advisory services made available through AE Wealth Management, LLC, a registered investment advisor.
Stream Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, Glenn Beck, Fox News, and even NASCAR on Sundays, anywhere on the Xtra 106.3 app. Download the app now and get 24/7 access to the live stream, the latest news, and everything you need to know about Atlanta's only conservative talk station. Download the Xtra 106.3 app for Apple or Android and check out even more great original content at thepodcastpark.com.
I would never recommend you get any of your information from the mainstream media ever, because they're going to lie to you. You've established, I don't got to tell you that, you know that. But I would further that, and I don't know anybody that would do this, but just for, dotting the I's, crossing the T's, don't ever get your information from The View. Because Whoopi Goldberg, and among the other hens, are absolutely nuts. And she went off because of the accusation of treason against her favorite president, Barack Obama.
So you're telling me that if I was to watch the NBC Nightly News, that I might get some little bit of lies.
Yeah.
If I watch CBS or if I was to watch 60 Minutes, I'm going to get some propaganda. Maybe they'll edit an interview on me.
Right.
If I watch MSNBC, Joe Scarborough won't bring up the biggest stuff of the day.
No, avoid it like the plague.
But if I watch The View, I'm basically watching the children's version of all of those.
Yes, it is the reduce it down to the dumbest factor.
It's the LCD, the lowest common denominator. Like, what can the hens watching right now understand? And listen, if you're a hen who loves The View, good for you. I just know what it's done to people I know. And the lack of understanding of, basic civic concepts. Like, I had to explain a reconciliation bill last night. Now, I'm not trying to tell you that, hey, you know what you're talking about if you can explain reconciliation. But when you start explaining such things and the first thing that comes back at you is, well, Donald Trump.
That's the answer. That's always
oh
the
my
answer.
God.
It doesn't matter which network. All the ones you labeled and listed and The View, everything starts with but Donald Trump.
So we went through this early this week. We talked about Trump versus United States, and it was a 6-3 vote when it came to SCOTUS. And you had a scenario where on July 1st, 2024, presidential immunity to a lesser extent was defined. Any action that you took that was an official action in office would not be able to be put under the purview of Congress or any of the courts out there. That the president enjoys full immunity.
Yeah, he can't be prosecuted on stuff like that.
Not be prosecuted. So if you happen to try and take out a terrorist and you accidentally miss and you bomb a schoolhouse, nothing can happen to you. It's an accident. And also, you're not allowed to try and come up with, well, what did the president mean to do? That's also not for the courts to define. But what's clear is that when you work outside the view and outside the work of regular official acts, immunity goes out the window. Whoopi Goldberg doesn't know this.
Well, it's because she watches MSNBC, she watches ABC, she watches CBS.
I don't know what she watches.
I can tell you because I have her answer.
I know I've got 62 pages in front of me of this particular ruling and this particular finding, and I've now read it at least twice. Whoopi Goldberg has not read much of anything.
A sitting president just accused a former president of treason. Now, do people realize how serious an allegation this is? And for me, didn't the Supreme Court, under the guidance of this president, say that presidents have immunity? So that would mean that nothing Obama did, because you didn't say no, that only you have immunity. You said presidents. So this means you have no right to try to take him to court because he did what he did as president. So how does that work? Is it only you who is clear, or are they all clear? In which case, President Biden might be, kicking some new stuff up to you too. Because if you say nobody has immunity, or everybody, you have to decide.
No. Let me clarify this for you, Whoopi. That woman gets paid quite a bit to be this wrong about things. And by the way, did you notice how the audience, 3 people clapped?
Yeah.
Because they don't get it either.
They love hearing her break it down this way so incorrectly.
This is so simple when you spend the time to read it. Read it. The first step in deciding whether a former president is entitled to immunity from a particular prosecution is to distinguish his official from unofficial actions. That's the first and foremost. When the president acts pursuant to constitutional and statutory authority, he takes official action to perform the functions of his office. Goes on to say, president's not above the law. But when you act under the constitutionality of the office, you enjoy immunity. When you work outside the Constitution, such as, treason, you're now into unofficial act territory.
Let me ask you this. Let me set this scenario for you, and you can give me if he is in presidential immunity or not. So your term as president is over. You stay in Washington, D.C. You order the Biden administration to do this, that, or the other thing. They go after Donald Trump in all kinds of ways. Would that be a presidential action, or is that unofficial?
Kind of feels like unofficial.
Yeah, like he's left office and things are over and things have changed.
This is something else that's pointed out here. Enduring separation of powers principles guide our decision in this case. This is again coming from the Supreme Court. The president enjoys no immunity for his unofficial acts, and not everything the president does is official. The president is not above the law, but under our system of separated powers, the president may not be prosecuted for exercising his core constitutional powers.
Defending the nation, things of that, like you said, defending the nation, bombing something, you bomb the wrong thing, you can't be prosecuted. And it's funny that she brought up, she was so furious that Trump said the word treasonous. But wouldn't you say that that's exactly what they were calling Donald Trump when they said he was a Russian asset? Wouldn't that be considered treasonous too? I don't remember her being so upset then.
Kind of feels strange that when they were saying that, they weren't using the word treason. Again, treason is one of the three. When you want to talk about the things that are looked at in the Constitution, counterfeiting, piracy, treason, these were the three that were pointing out. Everything else was left to the states. But treason being that important to the Founding Fathers.
Which is why Donald Trump specifically used the word. He knew exactly why he was using the word. And if you look at everything that they're laying out, he did it with good reason.
This is a Supreme Court finding. Here's their 6-3 decision. It only takes a little while to read it, and yet most people won't do it.
But you have,
even people who have television shows on ABC, don't they all have immunity? Or maybe none of them have immunity.
You get to choose. It can't be both.
It can't be both. You have immunity. It's the only difference between good and great, in my opinion, is the amount of work you're willing to put into stuff. Now, I will say the only difference in mediocre and get across the finish line is that I'm willing to read everything I can and study everything I can. Why doesn't everybody else? It's part of the reason why this show is normally days ahead, because Tug and I make it a point. Yeah, listen, I could sit here and watch another television show or throw on something on Netflix, and when I get a chance to, yeah, I will. Or I can go read the 60 pages to have a deeper understanding and make the show better. That's what you and I do. I will never understand where the audience, when it comes to Whoopi Goldberg, is sitting there and going, hey, you're being paid millions of dollars. How do you not have a deeper understanding of any of this stuff? How do you not have a grasp of it? Instead, is it just pure emotional?
Zero effort.
Zero effort.
Zero effort. That's exactly right.
And listen, there's people on our side of this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That have yet to read any of this stuff.
Oftentimes, I'll read it, and sometimes I have to read it 3, 4, 5 times before I even get it. Sometimes I have to call Los or Dre and be like, hey, man, this is what I read. I'm not sure I understand what I'm reading. Help me understand it.
At this point, you can put it into AI, and it'll help you.
Bark it out for you. No kidding. 7 o'clock hour is brought to you by Van Sant Law Group. If you're in an accident, make the right call. VanSantLaw.com. When we come back, how President Barack Obama, or as Rush called him, Presbo, may wiggle his way out of all this anyway. Next on Extra.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
Okay, here I am. Wet blanket Neil Bortz saw something in the AJC yesterday. They're going to take the old CNN Center and turn it into a dynamic public destination. I'm sorry to be a Debbie Downer on this one, but who the hell is going to go downtown if they don't live downtown to a great dynamic public destination at what was once CNN Center? And why won't people go? Come on. crime. Are they going to put metal detectors at all the entrances? You want a dynamic public destination? The Battery, Cobb County, home of the Atlanta Braves. Why is it dynamic? Why do people go there even when there's not a Braves game? Because it is not in downtown Atlanta. Hope I'm wrong, but I wouldn't invest $10 in this nonsense. Like the Atlanta streetcar. Oh, hasn't that been wonderful? Before they started spending millions on the Atlanta streetcar, I said, look, just put up an information booth in Centennial Park, and over the course of 6 months, see how many people come by and say, how do I get to the King Center? That's all it would take to tell you, to show you that you don't need a streetcar running from Centennial Park to the King Center. One van every 30 minutes would be enough. You want to make downtown Atlanta a dynamic public destination again? Do something about the hood rats, almost every one of which is carrying a gun. Convince the public that they will be safe downtown, and then work on creating these dynamic public destinations. 2 more words to add to this debacle. Underground Atlanta. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
Welcome the dog days of summer, filled with long summer drives and enjoying summer vacation with family and friends. Ensure that your Mercedes-Benz is operating optimally. Meet RBM of Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz pickup and delivery service. It gives you back time and money. Does your Mercedes-Benz need service? If so, we'll pick up your vehicle that's requiring service from your home or office and bring it back to our dealership for those services. And once the services have been complete, we'll bring your Mercedes-Benz back to you. With over 100 appointments available every weekday, over 50 appointments on Saturdays, and more than 200 courtesy vehicles in our fleet, we're here to serve. We'll work around your schedule. We're here to save you time, energy, and money. RBM of Atlanta is a J.D. Power 2025 Diamond Dealer of Excellence for the customer sales experience. And we're proud to be Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964. Pickup and delivery service restrictions do apply. Ask your service coordinator or service advisor at RBM of Atlanta for details.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 8 a.m. hour is brought to you by Central Heating and Air.
He commends Colombia for agreeing to do what is right. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. President Trump wrote that, hailing it on Truth Social, the settlement with the university to restore federal grants canceled over destructive pro-Palestinian protests on campus.
Colombia agreeing to pay out more than $220 million for violating Jewish students' civil rights, and they're pledging to reverse discriminatory practices. University President Claire Shipman says this in a statement. As part of the settlement, the university has not admitted wrongdoing. We are not, however, denying the very serious and painful challenges our institution is faced with anti-Semitism.
That's Fox's Griff Jenkins at the White House. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche could meet with Ghislaine Maxwell as soon as today. She's in prison for her role in sex trafficking underage girls with Jeffrey Epstein, who committed suicide awaiting trial. Maxwell's also been subpoenaed to talk to a congressional committee. But in the push for more Epstein files to be made public, a federal judge denied an attempt to unseal grand jury documents. Fox's Jessica Rosenthal reports.
The judge said typically a release like this would only be done to assist other lawyers or help in another case. Separately, Fox has confirmed a report that the Justice Department informed the president this past spring that his name does appear in Epstein-related legal documents and files.
FBI Director Kash Patel says the media keeps trying to undermine the president with smears and lies, and that story's no different. Another court blocking the president's order to end birthright citizenship, this time from appeals judges, calling it unconstitutional, as the president, by order, tries to stop kids born to parents here illegally from being U.S. citizens. Now updates into an infamous illegal immigrant.
A federal judge prohibiting officials from taking Kilmar Abrego Garcia into immediate ICE custody should he be released from jail in Tennessee while awaiting trial. A separate magistrate judge also pausing for 30 days in order allowing the 29-year-old from El Salvador to be released on bail.
Fox's Kristen Goodwin. Abrego Garcia is charged with human trafficking after he was returned by court order from El Salvador, where he was wrongfully deported in March. America's listening to Fox News.
A couple years ago, I was in the bathroom at the airport when I dropped my smartphone in the toilet. Not smart. I was multitasking when I should have been focused on the job at hand. Embarrassing, but I'm not alone. According to Google, 7 million other multitaskers accidentally dropped their phones into the bowl last year. A gentle reminder that right now you can get yourself a brand new Samsung Galaxy A36 absolutely free with a $35 plan from Pure Talk. The A36 comes with scratch-resistant Gorilla Glass and a battery that'll last all day, along with unlimited talk, text, and data on America's most dependable 5G network. In other words, it's tough and smart. Something to think about next time you're multitasking and the necessary. Just dial pound 250, say keyword micro to get your free phone today. You can make the switch in just 10 minutes. That's pound 250. Say micro to switch to a no-nonsense smartphone and a company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Want weather? Grab your phone. Need traffic? Grab your phone. Conservative news and talk, also on your phone. Get the Extra 106.3 app.
All right, y'all.
What a great plan we just came up with.
We're stewing on something. We're cooking up something that I think you'll really enjoy.
I'll just say this, because we're not allowed to get this out here yet. We're going to have a new member joining the broadcast company as a whole. And we are talking about when this person arrives in the office, and we know them, good person, that we want to do a top 10 list of things you can't say down the hall at our sports station that'll put you over here.
And we know this to be true.
Right, because if you say, hey, this whole COVID shot plan is totally bogus and it's not going to affect anything.
Or you call it the plandemic.
Then you end up hosting a morning show down the hall.
And we know this to be true because the man to my left was exiled.
Kind of put it all out there.
Was exiled to the extra island.
I would suggest to this person that never say guns are good.
Hey, give the example that we're talking about too.
So if the cannon goes off where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play, your first response needs to be, well, that is just awful and that promotes violence.
You'll be celebrated if you say that.
And you'll be taken care of.
Yeah, you'll be just fine.
We're going to have to come up with a top 10 list of things that should not be said down the hall. Otherwise, you will work with us.
How about men shouldn't play in women's sports?
Oh, yeah.
Buddy.
That one down the hall.
That'll probably be tough for her because she was. I just slipped up, didn't I? Boy, it'll probably be tough.
How dare you presume this person's gender?
That's right. Exactly.
I was doing a really good job.
You were, and I stepped in it. Oh,
Yeah.
well. I didn't completely step in it. Maybe a little bit.
He, she.
They.
That's right.
They people.
They were athletes.
If you stop using pronouns, you might end up down the hall.
That's right.
So hopefully we can welcome this person in a way where it's comedic and it's fun, and we're able to present them with a list of things that they should not say.
Them with a list. I love it. I want to read you a headline because Barack Obama had.
So I'm going to show you I can read.
Look at me. It's been questioned before. Brian Hoyt questioned it. Our old coworker. He was like, "Can you read?"
Were you subbing in on a show?
Yeah, I think so. And it was one of those things.
He gets really mean about reads.
Yeah, and they threw it in front of him, and they're like, "Here, we got to do this," and I didn't have a chance to glance, so I had no idea what I was reading.
Okay, just so the audience knows, our reads, these are promotional reads where we talk about things that are coming up on the radio station, events that are coming up, different sponsors. Now, here on Extra, ours are small. Like, ours are not crazy. They give us a limited amount, and most of our clients are like, get in, get out. Not every client is like that. Some of them are like 1 minute, 90 seconds on our other station, and they're long, and they're wordy. Yes.
And it will bite you. But our former coworker that Los worked with for years down the hall on the Chuck and Chernoff show, he gave me down the road. He's like, "Dude, I think you're dumb. I don't think you can read." He was like, "Prove to me you can read."
Prove to me you can read.
And I did my best, and it was not
like
good enough.
Floyd Mayweather with 50 Cent.
That's right. Hey, man, this guy can't even read.
That's the way it felt. That was the presentation. That was the packaging.
Or with our promotions director, Mike Key. And if you've ever been out to anything Dickey Broadcasting related, whether it's our golf event or if it's our sister station's events, He's the one who runs all of it, and man, that's his wheelhouse. Like and for my money, he's the best in town at running any of these promotions.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Now there's the other end of it, which is the copywriting. And I think the other day I actually read the so-and-so, that was a sponsor, 3 Miller. And as I read further, I went, oh, he meant Myler.
Oh, got it.
But it was written as Miller.
I remember when I got keyed.
I got Mike keyed.
Yeah. It was the Darlington Raceway.
Right.
Which is in South Carolina. And I know that. I mean, but in the read, I'm just, and Mike had laid it out, Darlington, North Carolina. And I was like, in my head, I'm trying to reconcile it, but I keep reading.
That's not right.
Yeah. And finally I get to
Darlington, Texas.
Yeah.
No.
So I had to correct it on the fly. It made it challenging.
So it happens.
National Intelligence Director Tulsi Gabbard releases previously classified report alleges Obama-era intelligence officials overemphasized evidence Russia preferred Trump to win in 2016. That was their headline. Overemphasized, that's all. They just overemphasized the fact that Donald Trump was a Russian agent. It seems a bit of a stretch.
It just went a little too far.
That's all. The lines here, it's like when you're doing 12 over and you get pulled over. But I was just barely.
It's as if like Tug says hi to his female neighbor every day, but somebody turned it into he's having an affair with her. It's just a little overstep.
Overemphasis.
That's all. He was being friendly, and then they blew it into something a little bit too far.
That's the presentation of the mainstream media now, of everything that's going on. It's just, Whoopi says nothing there. All the CNN cuts away from Tulsi Gabbard delivering, what it is that she has declassified.
They actually jumped out in the middle of what she was presenting.
Because she was overemphasizing everything. Should we play it?
Yeah. I was going to say.
Cue that up, Dre.
We can get
multiple intelligence community assessments released in the months leading up to the November 2016 election concluded that Russia had neither the intent nor capability to impact the outcome of the U.S. election. On December 5th.
We've been listening there to the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard.
She starts giving you exact dates on December 5th.
They're like, get out of here. Get out of here now.
Go.
Get out of here now.
You have to, you must. Or our listeners are going to realize that we've not been telling them the truth ever, maybe ever.
I joked around about how I can't listen to anything Barstool in the car. That's what happens. As soon as the cursing starts, I have to
Yeah, you bail out.
The CNN audience is like, at least their producers, too much truth. Go. Our audience can't handle this.
Oh, my.
I mean, this is not stuff that she's making up. She's just telling you.
Here's what we found.
This is their paperwork. This is not our paperwork. This is their paperwork.
And what does it say? I'll push it across the table. You can read it.
Feel free. Here, I didn't interpret it. Here it is.
But Barack Obama is not going down without a fight. This dude, I mean, he obviously released a statement, and some people would say that is a slightest admission of guilt right there. The
fact a little bit of concern.
Yeah, you feel like you need to defend yourself, but he's going to do everything he can to squirm out of it, and may be able to.
So Trump versus United States, again, Supreme Court ruling January 1st, 2024, defined that presidents have immunity on all official acts and do not have immunity on unofficial acts. But part of what then goes on is it has to be determined by a lower court whether or not your act was official or not. That is not for the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court just said, here's what we're saying. It is for a lower court to decide what you were up to. Was that official or not? If this goes anywhere, that's going to be the challenge, is that did you setting up a shadow government to hinder or take out your political opponent, who, by the way, you weren't running against, they were just coming after your legacy. Was that an official act or unofficial? And here's what'll be frustrating. Now, it's going to tarnish his legacy. Obama will be looked at as the biggest weenie ever if he's not already. But I figured out what he's going to say. He is going to point out that even though the intelligence information said one thing, his gut told him something else. And now here's the problem with this. As part of the Supreme Court ruling,
this is good.
Intent cannot be determined by the courts. The Supreme Court found intent cannot be determined by the courts. So as long as you might be making the wrong decision, but you're making an official decision based on, well, I was concerned about that the information was wrong that I got. That is then an official act, and there's nothing you can do. And that's what I believe he's going to do. But it's still about making that man have to be held into account to where he has to get up on that stand and tell everybody, I thought I was doing the right thing. As flimsy as it's going to come across as.
Because we knew the deep hatred that the Democrat Party, led by Barack Obama, have for Donald Trump. And you can throw establishment Republicans in there because a lot of them hate him too. But it doesn't matter to me necessarily that the Barack Obama's the one in jail. Somebody has got to pay for this.
No one else enjoys immunity on this stuff.
Pick who you want. Clapper, Brennan, doesn't matter to me. Comey. I mean, there's a ton of people that were involved. Somebody has to pay. And we've discussed this a bunch of times, but it's worth saying again because at some point the Democrats will be back in power. And if there's not a healthy respect for the law, they'll break it again.
Now, the only way around this where Barack Obama says, I trusted my gut. I didn't trust the intel community. I trusted my gut. I didn't believe he won that election. I think he was again, at that point, we're done. Unless you have whistleblowers. Unless you have lower level people that say, no, he came up with this. This was intentional.
Which Tulsi has already said there's whistleblowers coming forward. The only thing that makes me...
Like, if you can get Clapper to go, I don't want to do 5 years.
Yeah.
All right, well, explain what happened.
And he made his notes, his get out of jail free card.
Get out of jail free card notes that he put in there.
Talking about this thing that the Hillary Clinton campaign were brewing up, saying that Donald Trump was a Russian agent asset, that Russia was interfering in the election to get him elected. He made the note there. It's in the official documents that have been released by Tulsi Gabbard.
His handwritten notes.
The only thing about the whistleblowers that makes me go, I hope this works, but I don't know, is that they narrowed it to 5 people to be involved. Now, if you get one of those 5 people, but we don't know who they are. I don't know who they are. If you can get one of them, then you got something, because the rest of them are going to go, look, they boxed us out. We knew this was wrong. This was terrible. This was not based on sound evidence. This was not based on sound intel. This was low quality. If you can get one of the insiders, that's when things start really going off like a firecracker.
I guess this is the part about you're splitting hairs at this point, and it's difficult to do because Barack Obama, if he ever found himself in a courtroom, could say, hey, I made the wrong decision, but I made this decision based on, and that covers him. That's immunity.
That's right.
That's fine. Presidents cannot be prosecuted because of a bad decision, as long as it's an official one.
And use the example of a president going to bomb another country with good intention, good reason. They miss it and hit a church.
You're fine. Covered.
Horrible outcome.
Decision.
Horrible outcome.
Terrible idea. Taken care of. What you're going to need is a whistleblower who says, no, this was fully the intention was to run a DART program.
Yeah, I was one of the 5.
This was all done. This is all set up to be done off the books.
Yeah, I was one of the 5 that they
selected. Strictly an unofficial act. That's the only way. Otherwise, he's going to claim everything's official.
If you're one of those whistleblowers, let me tell you, they always go after the lower level people.
Yeah,
hoping to get. I mean, that's just the way it always.
Get them to flip.
Get them to flip. If you can get one of those 5 to flip on Clapper, on Brennan, on McCabe, if you can get any of them to turn over, then that levels the playing field. I'm just hopeful that there's actual punishment. And as my son said yesterday, as I was explaining some of the stuff to him, nothing's going to happen. Nothing. That's what most people believe, that they're going to get away with this scot-free.
I agree with that about 75%. There's that last 25. This is my Tug Cowart quarter. Tug Cowart's like they went in the man's house. They went into Trump's house. And if you think that doesn't cause you to have a different level of vengeance,
it does.
Then you have never had anyone go into your house.
And that's one. And that is, it's funny because I use the exact same. You remember when?
That's my Tug Cowart quarter.
But I even told him, even when we were talking about it, I said, Donald Trump's not going to stop.
So you told your son about,
oh,
hey,
yes.
do you remember when our home got broken into?
Absolutely. And he was like, yes, I was scared to sleep in my bedroom. I remember it like it was yesterday. I was like, that's why Trump won't stop. Now, does that mean you'll get a conviction? No. But he's not going to stop. He's not going to just say, you know what?
It's just politics.
It's water under the bridge. Mm-mm.
I don't believe so either.
He's going to go full steam ahead. I guess my point is that doesn't mean that we get a conviction.
No. But do we see this to the fruition of whatever it's going to be?
To the end.
I believe he's going to push it that hard.
I agree with that, 100%. And can't wait to see it all play out. Call. And you know, if you recall...
I just want a bunch of these dudes having to spend money on attorneys.
Well, James Clapper has already gotten his lawyer. He's already cut the check. He's already...
It's like, time for y'all to deal with some of this stuff.
He's made the down payment already. Do you remember when Obama was talking to outgoing President Dmitry Medvedev? Yeah, that.
You're doing great.
What you said. Hillbillies can't say that dude's name. Come on, buddy. But I remember this.
Stop judging me.
What is it? Medvedev. I don't know what it is. I'm going to quit because I'm making myself. Brian Hoyt's going, yeah, see, I told you he couldn't read.
I told you.
Told you dude couldn't read. It's right in front of me. It was the time that he's sitting down with outgoing president of Russia and that Putin was coming in, and he said to them, just give me a moment.
Yeah, they were talking about removing missiles from Poland. And he was like, I'll have more flexibility.
If you'll just be patient with me. You're talking about somebody that is in there with the Russians.
He was caught on a hot mic.
We have it. Listen to this.
My last election, yeah. And after my election, I have more flexibility. Yeah, I understand. I transmit this information to Vladimir and understand what.
I love what he said. I'll transmit this to Vladimir.
Yeah.
Talking about Vladimir Putin.
He let him know, pass it along. After the election's over with, I can pull these missiles right out of Poland.
And you're telling me Donald Trump's the asset? Donald Trump's the one that's cooperating with Russia? Donald Trump's the one that is in the sack with the Russians? This dude just said, if you'll let me get reelected, I'll be able to negotiate this, take it out, not let it happen.
It doesn't matter how in your face this stuff is. There's just narratives, there's programming that they take on. Like as we watch MSNBC right now, Justice Department told Trump maybe in amongst the names among many in the Epstein files. All right, so you've already had the Republicans on a multitude of times try and get these files fully out there. And who doesn't want them out there? The Democrats, so that they continue running a hoax.
They got something.
Why did they never want any of this stuff to see the light of day so they could continue to call Donald Trump a Russian asset? And now, even in the Rasmussen polling, to this day, 60% of Democrats believe Donald Trump is a Russian asset.
My mother-in-law is one of them.
60%.
Yeah.
And it was at the height, it was 70 during the time period.
The Russian press covered Obama so lovingly at this time. At that time when he told the Russians, hey, just give me a minute. Give me some flexibility. They covered Obama like he was just the best thing since sliced pie. Since sliced bread, since apple pie. And you know what they covered Republicans like? Donald Trump specifically? They described them as terrors. You're telling me they wanted the terror elected as president? That's what you're trying to convince me of? That's a hard sell for me to convince me of that. You have Obama saying what he said, and the Russians, the press, who's controlled, covering Trump as a terror, Obama is the greatest guy ever. And you want me to believe Trump is the guy that they wanted elected. I mean, continue on. I mean, keep sending me the...
You truly have to be logic defiant.
It is unreal that people would fall for this. And you, as the number you laid out, 60% of Democrats still say, yep, that's right.
People want to be told. It's much more difficult to learn.
Jason Chaffetz uses a Democrat talking point against them. Next on Extra 106.3.
Stream Atlanta's only conservative voice anywhere you go with the Xtra 106.3 app. Now equipped with Apple CarPlay. That means you'll always have Xtra's crystal clear HD stream right on your dashboard no matter where you are. Download the all-new Xtra 106.3 app now and start streaming.
Hey, it's Los. Let's talk about Howard Brothers and Cub Cadet. Looking for a mower that's built to last? Look no further than Cub Cadet, or as Tug might say, Cub Cadet. You never know. At Howard Brothers, they've got the Cub Cadet lineup that delivers power, performance, and precision. But here's the best part. When you buy from them, you're not just getting the mower, you're getting the service, the support. You're getting the team that can explain to you not just how to handle that mower, but how to service that mower. So you can get multiple years, seasons, entire seasons out of that mower. Don't just buy Cub Cadet from anywhere. Buy it where you can get it serviced. Howard Brothers, serving your community since 1955.
I'm Michelle Stovall, and our company has been family owned and operated for 75 years. Check us out at StovallINC.com, or better yet, stop by our newly opened 11th store at 9500 Union Hill Road in Canton. At Stovall, we supply you with all your landscaping project needs, completely hassle-free down to delivery. Been dreaming of an outdoor kitchen, fireplace, or other custom paver project? We partner with Keystone Hardscapes for all your beautiful high-end concrete needs. We look forward to making your landscape dreams come true. Stovall has it all.
Military veterans are eager to transfer their skills and experiences to civilian life, but lack trusted connections to expedite their path to success. That is, until they meet the Warrior Alliance. The Warrior Alliance goes the extra mile to reach veterans in their communities so they do not have to take this journey alone. With over 40 partners across 10 service areas, your donation goes a long way toward achieving maximum impact for a veteran and their family. Go to thewarrioralliance.org to donate today and commit to helping the Warrior Alliance change thousands of lives for the better.
The summer's got you thinking about hitting the road. And with back to school right around the corner, you need a vehicle built for the road and safe enough for the family. And Subaru of Gwinnett has it for you. Like the 2025 Subaru Outback, which will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus up to 32 miles per gallon. And if you're up for adventure, it'll get you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance, more than the Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4. Or the 2025 Subaru Forester, the SUV for all you love. It's the right-sized SUV for all the adventures ahead, with a spacious and comfortable interior for everyone you want to bring along. And no matter where adventure takes you, it starts on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth with the amazing staff at Subaru of Gwinnett. They'll help you find the Subaru that you'll love and be there every step of the way for everything you need. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
Retirement means different things to different people. Some folks want to travel the world. Some folks want to spend more time with grandkids. For me, I'm looking forward to spending more time with my guitar. Whether extravagant and robust or simple and cozy, every retirement needs a plan. You wouldn't take a trip without directions. You have to know where you are before you know where you're going. Master Plan Retirement Consultants have helped many like you plan for their own retirement. Not only does Master Plan help you create the roadmap, they join you on the journey. So whether you want to travel the world, become a pickleball champ, or just looking for a good porch, a sturdy rocking chair, and an acoustic guitar, remember to plan well, because the destination is worth it. Visit
the stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Thursday, July 24th. The Atlanta Braves ended up dropping 2 of 3 to the San Francisco Giants at Truist Park, including a 9-3 loss yesterday afternoon. Today, the team is off before opening up a weekend series in Arlington against the Texas Rangers. Football is on the way from the NFL. The morning on-field workouts will begin for the Falcons as training camp 2025 begins. The team will be on the field from Flowery Branch starting at 9:30. There are no holdouts on the roster for this training camp. With your sports updates, I'm Carlos Medina.
8 o'clock hour brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier experts. 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com is the website. So we've been talking so much about Russian collusion. I mean, it was the biggest story on the Democrats' docket on every network you turned the station to. And even Fox News at the time, if you remember, they were on fire with Russian collusion for like 3 years.
Russia.
That's right. The Russia hoax, and we knew at the end that it was a hoax. But they ran with it for 3 years, and it was funny because Tulsi Gabbard said, hey, can you do me a favor here? Do some actual journalism. And, of course, the answer is no, they're not going to do that. They've actually blacked it out. I mean, talking so little about it, almost non-existent. We have MSNBC on in the studio right now. No mention whatsoever. They are not going to change their route. They're not going to change the way that they do things. The truth does not matter. It is all about feeding the narrative to the people, the very few people that still watch, but feeding the narrative to them. That way they hook them in, they keep them there. They keep their, CNN primetime is like 95,000, so they're trying to keep that 95,000 happy.
I know how to do it. Trump did this.
That's right. That's either they don't talk about it at all, or that's what they leave with. But Trump. So in an effort to give you a but Trump, in an effort to memory hole this as best they can, I want to play you a cut from CNN. There's a couple of them. Former FBI Deputy Director Andy McCabe. He went on CNN trying to explain what actually happened. He said...
That's so... Yeah. Okay.
Dude.
I didn't know you were going here with this.
Yeah.
Is this comedy? This is like 8:30 make me giggle.
It's so funny. He said the Russians did some polling. That was part of what the Russians were doing when they were collecting this intel that Tulsi Gabbard has released. They did some polling. Literally, agents on the ground. This is what he's going to try to convince you of. Agents on the ground asking people what they thought, and they bought some social media ads. Listen to this.
We were deeply concerned about what the Russians were doing to target our election in 2016. And ultimately, what we concluded is they did a lot of different things. And don't take my opinion for it. The Mueller report is sitting right there on the shelf behind me. You can get your own. It's about 400 pages. It begins with the conclusion that the Russians, in a sweeping and systematic fashion, interfered with the election. Some of the ways they did that was by sending undercovers here to the United States to travel around the country and find out what people thought. They established the Internet Research Agency to create fake accounts on social media platforms and to try to influence Americans' sentiment about the election in that way. They performed a hack and dump campaign in which they targeted political institutions with their cyber operators, and they stole information from places like the DNC. They attempted to do it in the RNC as well. So a lot of different lines of effort.
Let me get this straight. Did they change one vote?
No. And he goes on, and we'll get to that in a minute, that no, they didn't at all. No.
Because if this is the standard by which you say they interfered with the election, we interfere with every election.
And so do they.
Mm-hmm.
This,
all the time. This is not foreign.
This is understood by everyone.
This is simple tradecraft. I mean, this is why, and it was told to us by Mike Benz, when it's too dirty for the CIA, then USAID handles it. USAID, before it was defunded and deplatformed, now it's moved on to other things, this is what they do. This is what they did.
They also opened fake social media accounts.
Oh, no.
Stop the presses. Are you serious? You're telling me they opened up an account under a name called Bill Smith and said, hey, you better watch out for Trump, Russian agents. That's the link that they went to? They opened up a simple account?
I've experienced the bot farm bot attack before.
My gosh, yeah.
It's incredible when it happens, where your timeline is being hammered by a bunch of people that don't exist.
Yes,
who all have the same message.
Yeah, computer.
It doesn't influence you other than you just go, wow, okay, I guess I was over the target.
Yes, no kidding. So they sent the bots after me. They sent the computers to post all these messages. And like Lo said, it never changes. But the one that stood out to me the most. This dude tried to convince me that the Russians came here and did polling. He said they had agents on the ground going and asking people what they thought. And that's where they were gathering their information to infiltrate the election of the United States of America. So our CIA and FBI did nothing about Russian agents on the ground knocking on doors. Hi, Mr. Cowart. How are you today?
Good evening, Gumbrand.
Yes, exactly. That's probably what it would have been more like.
How do you feel about Donald Trump?
Yes. Well, I tell you, they tell me he's a Russian agent. I don't know. I'm worried about it. That's what it says on the news every night, that this man's a Russian agent. And so I'm sure, Vladimir writes it all down to send back to Mother Russia. What in the world is this dude talking about? That sounds so unhinged and crazy and made up to me.
This is nothing new. I mean, we go back to 2011 when we had the Russian spy ring that was broken in the United States. I had to look it up. That's Anna Chapman, the very attractive redhead Russian agent.
Yes, I remember her.
Yes.
If she would have came to the door and asked me some polling questions,
what do you want to know?
That's right.
I remember watching.
What are you selling? I'm buying.
I remember watching this documentary, and they were talking about this one Russian agent that you had men. These were guys that were like captains of industry, and that's what her job was, to infiltrate and then to influence. And when this woman was apprehended and these guys were all brought in to be told, hey, here's who she is. She's a Russian agent. She's playing you so that she can have influence over your company at some point. To a man, they all didn't care. And they were like, well, why did you basically go along with this stuff? It's like, because she didn't have the word no.
That's right.
Like,
yeah, whatever. There were no rules.
Yeah. So don't tell me that, like, Andy McCabe is suddenly like, and then they had people polling on the ground. I'm like, what do you think goes on? What do you think we're doing?
But the way he presented it was, they're knocking on the doors to ask you. It's ridiculous.
He's playing this game like this is, this is a bridge too far. I can't believe they did this. I'm like, no, this is vanilla. This is every day.
Yeah.
This is what they do, and this is what we do.
Then he went on to say, one more from Andy McCabe. Well, this is what the assessment said, and this goes along with what you're saying about Barack Obama using this to get out of his responsibility. He said, look, this is what we thought. It doesn't mean you had to believe it.
So basically, you're talking about the intelligence community assessment, which was the piece that was essentially requested by the president after the election. And it came to three conclusions. The first was, yes, they absolutely tried to sow chaos and undermine Americans' confidence in the election. That's number one. Number two, they definitely wanted to hurt Hillary Clinton's chances of getting elected. And the third conclusion was they affirmatively wanted to help Donald Trump's chances of winning the election. Pretty much the first two, no one has argued about. The third one seems to be the one that still causes pain for Republicans on the Hill and the DNI. But nevertheless, it is an intelligence assessment. If you dig into the sourcing, you could decide you have a different opinion.
Yes, you could.
That doesn't mean that the original opinion was invalid or treasonous. Just means that was the opinion of the community at that time.
But it wasn't.
Hold on, Andy McCabe. According to the actual documents, the ones where you couldn't even store them digitally, where you had to have hard copies of them, which only 5 existed, where you had an FBI raid on Mar-a-Lago looking for said documents, it actually pointed to the Russians preferred Hillary because they had dirt on her.
Page 17 of the documents is the one you're looking for if you want to go find it for yourself.
The Russians felt they had an easier time with Hillary.
Why?
This is what, now this isn't my opinion, this was the opinion of your own intelligence officials. The actual information that they were saying, here's the reason why this is what's going on. Here's what they know about her.
Isn't it interesting, though, in light of everything that's been shared by Tulsi Gabbard, that he still goes back to, well, there's 3 things that are irrefutable.
And that's not true.
And that's completely not true. The documents that Tulsi is sharing with you prove, Andy McCabe, that none of those things that you say are irrefutable are completely refutable.
And then we're basing this intelligent analysis on a directive from Barack Obama. That's your that's not the intelligence community.
It was 5 people. Handpicked by Brennan, handpicked because they would go along with it. The rest of the IC, the rest of the intelligence community wouldn't go along with it. They all said, no, that the intel doesn't say what you're trying to say it does.
And then, because I know we've never done it, but they're out there, you can watch Russian collusion montages where every broadcast starts with this. And it was over and over and over. And the one of them that I heard, and I think it was on Buck and Clay, that actually finishes with a guy pointing out, Donald Trump is refuting this, but this is coming from the CIA as long with the FBI. And so hypothetically, he's saying that neither one of them are correct, which I find that to be whimsical. What he never thought of is that they were both invented.
That's right. They were never, ever true. And there was only the smallest amount of people in those two agencies that knew what was going on to begin with, because they would go along with it. They were going to do whatever they were told or whatever they're asked, and they would base it on not just low quality or low quality intel. It was intel that hadn't been vetted yet. They weren't even sure where all the intel was coming from. They didn't know who gave it to them. They didn't know what the source was. They didn't know who that person that they got it from. It's the game of telephone. They had no idea because it was not vetted. 15 different pieces of intel that had not been vetted, and that's what they used. And they went with it. In 3 weeks, in this intel community assessment that Barack Obama asked for, knowing that none of this was true, it's supposed to take 9 months. It happened in 3 weeks with 5 agents.
And one person who wrote it up. That was insulating it. That's why when you hear whistleblowers, these are people within the intelligence community, I'm willing to bet mostly CIA, that are pointing out this was not to our standard. We all knew what was going on here. But if you're a patriot, you see what's happening. It's got to be pretty intimidating. When you think about it, you're like, well, I would have done the right thing. Well, what do you do when you see your own intelligence and then you see what's on the evening news every day? You're like, they're taking out an American president. And
they had to know.
And you think you're going to be the one to step up?
No. I'm
just saying I can understand where it took until this for whistleblowers to come forward.
Absolutely. Feeling confident because think about what they would do to you if you blew the cover off what they wanted to do to Trump.
There's federal whistleblower protections within the government. All right, I've never heard of it ever applying to CIA.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, you're a federal employee, but you're working in an industry of secrets, and you blew a whistle. Like, that's the end of the career.
Yeah, your career's over. And your reputation, because they will come after you with all. Look what they did, how they came after Donald Trump. If you try to derail what they want to do to him, they're going to come after you with that same intensity.
That question of, well, why didn't anybody say anything earlier? How simpleton are you? It's an intelligence organization. You don't blow the whistle.
I would ask people in their own office, have you seen things that shouldn't have happened or things that were done incorrectly? And you're like, ain't my fight.
It's only coming out at a Coldplay concert.
That's right. Because how many people knew that relationship was happening? Certainly the woman standing next to her that worked with them did. You saw it all over her face with that S-eating grin. It's easy to say I'd do the right thing.
Yeah, always.
It's really easy.
I'd go to management. Okay.
What are you willing to risk? Are you willing to risk everything? Because that's what they were asked to risk. Jason Chaffetz uses that Democrat talking point against them next on Extra 106.3.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Thursday, July 24th. The Atlanta Braves ended up dropping 2 of 3 to the San Francisco Giants at Truist Park, including a 9-3 loss yesterday afternoon. Today, the team is off before opening up a weekend series in Arlington against the Texas Rangers. Football is on the way from the NFL. The morning on-field workouts will begin for the Falcons as training camp 2025 begins. The team will be on the field from Flowery Branch starting at 9:30. There are no holdouts on the roster for this training camp. With your sports updates, I'm Carlos Medina. Good morning. Here are your sports headlines.
Going to be a scorcher today. I love the heat. And look, as we get into August, it's going to get hotter. That's the thing about everybody thinks, August, especially people not from here. They're like, August, man, the things are winding down, kids getting ready to go back to school. Things will cool off. No. If you were born and raised in Georgia or lived here a long time, you know that is not the case. August may be the hottest month of the year. So what do? You want to make sure that your home's energy efficient. You want to make sure you got good windows and doors to keep all that hot air out and all the cool air that you're paying for in. Energy efficient windows from Southern Exteriors. Right now, you can get 10% off any job or 12 months, 0% financing to replace those old single pane windows that you probably can't open anyway because they're painted shut. Reason I know that is because I've replaced those windows twice in 2 different homes. And the upgrade that you get, the way your home looks, immediately puts a smile on your face. And then when you get that first new power bill and you see how much it's dropped because of the energy efficiency of the windows that you've installed with Southern Exteriors, that smile gets even bigger. How do you do it? So easy. 8779-SOUTHERN, 8779-SOUTHERN. Or go to southernexteriors.co. It's southernexteriors.co.
Hey, this is Matt from East Cobb. We basically bought our house from our in-laws. It was my wife's childhood home. One of the issues that we've had when we first moved in was our dog in our backyard. It was extremely shaded, could never grow grass back there. We resodded it twice. So ATL Turf Co. did an amazing job with our backyard transformation. They basically created a miniature golf hole. We have a miniature fairway. We also have a miniature little putting green. Consists of about 4 holes, total about 40 yards. So you can definitely work on your short game and your putting. After that transformation that ATL Turf Co. did for us, my father-in-law came and saw his house the way it looked after the fact of we had a putting green and a miniature golf course. Sure enough, he did the same thing with ATL Turf Co. He has a beautiful backyard, wonderful stonework, drainage, and a beautiful practice area for chipping and putting. Check him out online at atlturfco.com.
This is Window Nation, your source for affordable replacement windows at the highest quality. So if your old windows have you boiling in the summer and freezing in the winter, you need the pros at Window Nation with installation precision and experience that are second to none. Their custom windows are guaranteed to be a perfect fit, and they're backed by the best warranty in the industry. Go to getwindownation.com or call 866-90NATION for your free estimate. And for a limited time, get 50% off all window styles, plus pay no interest for 5 years.
You need a pre-owned car or truck, but you don't need the headache of searching for one. Spending hours calling dealerships, then spending half the day filling out paperwork.
Come on.
You need the Honest Car Guy.
Hey, this is Tom from the Honest Car Guy. We help you buy your next pre-owned car or truck honestly. We guarantee you each vehicle we sell will come with a copy of the bill of sale showing what we paid for it. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee. Guaranteed.
Get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME-1 or visit honestcarguy.com.
Hey, it's Flounder, and I've got 2 pieces of advice. Marry the girl of your dreams and get the ring at Solomon Brothers. That's what I did. I recently tied the knot, and my wife loves jewelry. So when I heard about Solomon Brothers' Christmas in July event, I was back in the store. Santa ditched the sleigh for a surfboard, and Solomon Brothers is celebrating with 31% off everything. Rings, necklaces, earrings, you name it. It's all 31% off for the 31 days of July. Premium pieces, unbeatable prices, and serious brownie points. Solomon Brothers is Atlanta's only 5-star rated jeweler with over 3,000 glowing reviews. They're the preferred jeweler of the Braves, proud partner of the Dogs, and official jeweler of Georgia Tech. So whether you're popping the question, shopping for your wife, or just want to treat yourself, Solomon Brothers is the place. So come see us at Solomon Brothers Jewelers on the 17th floor of Tower Place in Buckhead, on Old Milton Parkway in Alpharetta, and on Fisher Crossing Drive in Sharpsburg. Or shop online anytime at solomonbrothers.com.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Pete, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
Look at the poor Democrat Party. For years, they told us nothing could be done about illegal immigration unless they passed some more bills in Congress. How long did it take Trump to put the lie to that? 2 days.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Tug and Los until 10 on the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3. I want to know that people are as mad about our intelligence agencies being politicized as I am.
You don't survive this.
No, definitely not. Or at least you shouldn't. Up until this point, I guess they have. They've been able to skirt. Now that all the intel that they knew was false that they ran with is being put in front of the public, maybe you don't get to skirt it anymore.
You just can't function as a government if you have a portion of your intel community that has been so politicized that they cannot be trusted moving forward. At that point, you just have to either scrap it or we're done.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't change. It's not like the appointees or these people are suddenly going to go, you know what? I've seen the error of my ways. I'm no longer going to be a servant of the Democrat Party.
Right. Never going to happen. And some of those people still work in the intel community to this day. Tulsi Gabbard actually referenced that in her speeches and when she's laying out all this evidence. And the media blackout tells you everything you need to know about the Democrats being on their heels on this one. They are in such shambles. They're like, how do we talk about anything but this? Please don't make us talk about this.
We're what now, 2 hours into watching MSNBC?
Yeah.
And I don't think we've had one story on any of this stuff. In fact, they're now on to Pete Hegseth.
Yeah, they're talking about the Signal chat that happened months ago.
So it's either Epstein
or Signal
or Hegseth.
Yeah,
and
that's what they're focused on.
That's it.
I want you to hear from former House Oversight Chair Jason Chaffetz, because he feels the exact same way that we do. Someone has to be held accountable. Many people have to be held accountable.
I cannot even express how stunning this is. The President of the United States was engaged in a conspiracy. That's the allegation. Mm-hmm. I'm so disappointed in Barack Obama. He puts himself up there as a scandal-free president. Now, look how great it was for 8 years. That guy run the screen, he was lying to us. And he was part of concocting a conspiracy to deceive the American people. It doesn't get any worse than that. And how many times did I get a lecture from the Democrats about nobody's above the law, nobody's above the law? They all said it. They drove it home every time. And we'll see where they are now. They're going to run for the hills. And Jonathan Turley is right. He is absolutely right. Where is the intellectual curiosity? Where are they going to be in terms of returning their Pulitzer Prizes and all the awards that they won and patting themselves on the back on how great they were on getting Donald Trump? They were all lying to us, and they got snookered, and they should be held accountable. And I want to see some people in handcuffs. They have to be held accountable, or it'll happen again.
That's exactly right.
I don't blame the media on this. I really don't. You were sold a bill of goods in the same way that back in 2004 I was sold on weapons of mass destruction. My government told me this is what occurred, and I went, okay, this is what your government told you what occurred. And if you want to say, well, why didn't anyone question it? Well, because it's from your intelligence officials. The CIA told you, Tug, and then we did one study after another based on the root of it was bad information, and the bad seed that started all of it was Barack Obama, who was beyond question. You can't question the great one.
Yeah.
There's no way he's as clean as a wind-driven snow. He didn't even have a scandal, ever.
Ever. They've told you that a million times. The only thing I would push back on is they did it again with Joe Biden.
Of course. No pushback, none.
No curiosity.
They're there to carry the water and to disseminate the information based on what they're given.
No curiosity because they don't want it. They turn the curiosity off. They're physically capable of saying, I don't care about this, or I agree with it, so I'm not gonna question anything. I'm just running with the message. Unless, now, if it's something to do with Donald Trump and Russian collusion, boy, I'm going to sell that as best I can.
Did we not have 4 years of Peter Doocy being the only person who would ask a question?
Yes, we did.
Did we not have Bill Malusia, who was the only person for 4 years showing you what was going on at the border?
Yes. Yeah. And that's not to suck up to Fox, because anybody listening that doesn't listen to the show with regularity is going, they're a Fox affiliate.
No, there's just a limited amount of people. What? Okay. Were we not at a point where, when it came to the Twitter files, there's a reason why it was given to Matt Taibbi?
Yes, an independent journalist.
One of the actual, and Schellenberger, a couple of the actual journalists in this country.
The ones that actually do the job.
That were actually doing the job and asking the questions.
actually have curiosity.
Yes.
And they're not worshiping at the altar of either party.
No.
To be honest, I don't know their political affiliation. I would guess Democrat because it seems like everybody else is.
Taibbi has been a Democrat who then, by his own account, has I'm moving away from it because it's gone to a level that he doesn't trust any longer.
And rightfully so.
Not saying he's coming over to our side.
No,
he's just kind of he's just not on board.
But that's the thing. I don't want him on my side. I don't want him on anybody's side. I want him on the side of the truth. And none of those people are on the side of truth. And that's what Jason Chaffetz is pointing out. Somebody must be held accountable. Will that happen? I mean, that's yet to be seen. Donald Trump is not going to just let it go like he did with Hillary Clinton. He said, ex-president's wife, first lady, I'm going to let it go. And he even said, I'm glad I did. I disagree with him.
Didn't know it was coming his way. He didn't know what had already been organized.
He didn't know the punches coming in from the back.
The wild part about Donald Trump, you leave a boardroom after a negotiation, and typically that's the end of it because now we have a deal.
Or we don't have a deal and we go our separate ways.
Either way, that's the finality of it. He never thought to himself, at least early on, that, listen, I let her off the hook. It's over with. No, it wasn't.
No, sir, it wasn't.
No, it was way more personal than he ever imagined until he found out and went and had to deal with the whole hoax thing. And then by the time on August 8th of 2022, when his house was raided, I think that was another one of those, this is beyond normal.
Yeah, this is
not just politics any longer.
This is the worst in people using their platform, using their
They were
status.
using the federal powers for their own good in a way that was just so outlandish and gross.
The other day when he said that I'm glad I let Hillary go, I don't believe that he really is.
No, not anymore.
I think he's saying that I think he's saying it still to show that, look, I was able to step back from this and say, hey, that for the good of the country, even though it happened to me, for the good of the country, I'm going to let it go, and I'm glad I did. But in his heart of hearts, he knows that's what led to where we are now. I think he was just trying to show you the difference in the way he thinks and the way the deep state and Barack Obama thinks.
I believe he's trying to do this differently this time around. He has got a lot of great foot soldiers. He's got a lot of great people around him that are more than willing to be the ones that handle this stuff. We've talked about whether it's the Bessents or the Stephen Millers or in this case the Tulsi Gabbards or Marco Rubio when you put him out there. He's got so many great fighters that he doesn't have to. He can pretend like he's just above the fray. In the way that I guess was so surprising with Barack Obama, we always had talked about, he's probably pulling the strings. But when it came to Russian collusion, we all believed that originated with Hillary Clinton. No, I mean, she had the idea. It's what she was paying for.
But he put it into motion. Barack Obama.
He's the one who put it into motion at a level of intelligence level.
Here's what I need. And they've gotten the Steele dossier. We're going to promote it. We're going to celebrate it. We're going to put it out there. We're going to leak it.
And he always pretended like he was above the fray, the way that Donald Trump is running things right now. But I think when push comes to shove, I think they're going to push this as far as they possibly can. And I think Donald Trump will be that guy who's using the bully pulpit to push this thing.
To quote George W. Bush, which I don't do a lot, Donald Trump has a new strategery. The strategery is different than his first term. He sat on it for 4 years and came up with that strategery.
Fool me once.
Yeah.
Shame on you.
Yes, fool me twice. Shame on me.
Well, you feel shame. It's like one of my favorites of all time.
When he bubbled that one.
Yeah, you just get caught up. You're trying to spit out one of these, whether it's a mixed metaphor or anything else.
He had a couple of those.
They're funny. They're always funny.
Those Bush gaffes. 8 o'clock hour brought to you by Central Heating and Air Conditioning, your Atlanta carrier expert, 770-GET-HEAT, centralheat.com, Tug and Los until 10. When we come back, let's see the mainstream media. Let's see if they're capable of an honest day's work.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Xtra 106.3.
Okay, here I am. Wet blanket Neil Bortz saw something in the AJC yesterday. They're going to take the old CNN Center and turn it into a dynamic public destination. I'm sorry to be a Debbie Downer on this one, but who the hell is going to go downtown if they don't live downtown to a great dynamic public destination at what was once CNN Center? And why won't people go? Come on. Crime. Are they going to put metal detectors at all the entrances? You want a dynamic public destination? The Battery, Cobb County, home of the Atlanta Braves. Why is it dynamic? Why do people go there even when there's not a Braves game? Because it is not in downtown Atlanta. Hope I'm wrong, but I wouldn't invest $10 in this nonsense. Like the Atlanta streetcar. Oh, hasn't that been wonderful? Before they started spending millions on the Atlanta streetcar, I said, look, just put up an information booth in Centennial Park, and over the course of 6 months, see how many people come by and say, how do I get to the King Center? That's all it would take to tell you, to show you that you don't need a streetcar running from Centennial Park to the King Center. One van every 30 minutes would be enough. You want to make downtown Atlanta a dynamic public destination again? Do something about the hood rats, almost every one of which is carrying a gun. Convince the public that they will be safe downtown, and then work on creating these dynamic public destinations. 2 more words to add to this debacle. Underground Atlanta. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
By texting 26022, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Tax Lien Code. Message and data rates may apply. Terms apply. Available at taxliencode.com.
Imagine waking up and not needing to rush. No commute, no emails, no boss. Just coffee, sunlight, and the freedom to choose. That's the power of tax lien investing. It's been around for over 200 years, used by banks, hedge funds, and the wealthy. And now, finally, it's being taught right here in Atlanta. It's secure, predictable, passive income backed by real estate and mandated by state law. And it pays you, sometimes 15 to 35% returns. You don't need to own property. You just need to see how it works and how to do it right. We've taught over 100,000 students, and we'll teach you for free at a live masterclass right here in Atlanta. If you're ready to start building real wealth through tax lien investing, this is it. Text EARN to 26022 to reserve your free seat. That's EARN to 26022. But hurry, seats are limited. Text EARN to 26022.
WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey broadcasting station. The 9 a.m. hour is presented by Southern Exteriors. Quality and precision you can rely on.
Colombia makes a deal to end Trump administration scrutiny. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
I'm really pleased that we were able to come to this agreement.
That's Education Secretary Linda McMahon on Fox Business a short time ago, reacting to Colombia paying $220 million to restore federal grants canceled by the government after destructive pro-Palestinian protests on campus.
You can't have students that are locked into a library on campus with other students pounding on the windows outside yelling, "Death to Israel, death to Jews."
In a statement, Colombia denied wrongdoing but did acknowledge anti-Semitism on campus. The Jewish students and faculty experienced painful, unacceptable incidents, and reform is needed. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche could meet as soon as today with Ghislaine Maxwell, who was convicted for her role in the Jeffrey Epstein sex trafficking scheme involving underage girls. He committed suicide awaiting trial. But in the push for more files to be released, a federal judge denied an attempt to unseal grand jury records. The Wall Street Journal reports the president's been told that his name is among many in the files.
Maxwell could be meeting with more people as well. The Republican chairman of the House Oversight Committee announcing he has issued a subpoena for a deposition. James Comer says, quote, "It is imperative that Congress conduct oversight of the federal government's enforcement of sex trafficking laws," and that deposition would take place in Tallahassee, where Ms. Maxwell is currently serving a 20-year sentence.
Fox's Lucas Tomlinson. A disaster in Russia. A plane crashed reportedly in bad weather, making a second attempt to land, killing all 48 people on board. In Israel, there's a search for the driver who rammed a vehicle into a group of soldiers, wounding 8 of them. As attempts to stop the war in Gaza and free more hostages ramp up.
And Israeli officials told the AP Hamas's response to the latest ceasefire proposal for Gaza is workable. This as President Trump's envoy Steve Witkoff heads to Italy to meet the top Israeli negotiator.
That's Fox's Jonathan Savage. America's listening to Fox News.
A couple years ago, I was in the bathroom at the airport when I dropped my smartphone in the toilet. Not smart. I was multitasking when I should have been focused on the job at hand. Embarrassing, but I'm not alone. According to Google, 7 million other multitaskers accidentally dropped their phones into the bowl last year. A gentle reminder that right now you can get yourself a brand new Samsung Galaxy A36 absolutely free with a $35 plan from Pure Talk. The A36 comes with scratch-resistant Gorilla Glass and a battery that'll last all day, along with unlimited talk, text, and data on America's most dependable 5G network. In other words, it's tough and smart. Something to think about next time you're multitasking and the necessary. Just dial pound 250, say keyword micro to get your free phone today. You can make the switch in just 10 minutes. That's pound 250. Say micro to switch to a no-nonsense smartphone and a company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
I wake up every morning with the Morning Extra.
It's Meemaw and Los on the Morning Extra on Extra 106.3.
Who doesn't love their Meemaw?
If you don't, there's something wrong. If you don't love your Meemaw, there's it's a you problem, not a Meemaw problem. Because most Meemaws are they're perfect. I mean, think about it. J.D. Vance. His Meemaw raised him. Now she was
curses a lot.
Pistol. She was a firecracker, but she did the right thing. She was not afraid.
Discipline.
Yes, she did. And cussed at him a lot.
Whereas my Meemaw, there was no discipline.
No, it was eat all the candy you want to, run around anytime you want to.
She just turned 89.
Oh
She just kind of let me do what I want to do. She's an awesome lady.
I know. I never called my grandparents Meemaw. We had Grandma, which was my dad's mama, and then either Brown or Ma Brown for my mama's mama.
I've told you that I was not aware of the name grandpa or grandfather when I was growing up.
Yeah, I feel like you've refreshed my memory.
Because my grandmother would yell at my grandfather all the time, and she'd only call him by his last name. So I used to refer to my grandparents as Grandma and Wong.
That's the greatest.
Every now and then, if she was mad, she'd call him Jimmy.
Oh, buddy.
But that's you didn't get James on that one.
Yeah.
Jimmy!
That's right.
I was like, uh-oh.
Yeah, things are about to go south.
Uh-oh, he's about to get it.
Things are about to get ugly in this house.
Jimmy needs to get out the door here.
And you scoot out the front door, out the screen door, trying to get away just to make sure you didn't get some shrapnel.
Yeah, but to this day, I never once was like, that's my grandfather, or it's my grandpa. I was like, that's Wong.
I love it. Well, it's like my Brown, we just called her Brown. Sometimes I would use my Brown, but it was always Brown. And she just, for whatever reason, I remember her saying, don't call me grandma. Or don't call me granny. She's like, I'm not old enough to be a granny or a grandma.
And she was like 38.
Yeah. No, she was. The thing was, she was old enough, but she was not letting the, old creep in.
That was a Dalton joke.
Yes.
Grandma
yes, that's
38.
Right. That's right. That's right. Although.
Did you know anybody?
Yes. Matter of fact, I know a couple people right now that are grandmas at 38.
There's a woman at Good Old Days. You've probably met her. So she had a daughter young, and now her daughter's had a grandchild. And she's like, I think I'm the only 46-year-old grandma. Yeah. I'm like, well, you can always go to Dalton.
Yeah, absolutely. You fit right in.
You'll be fine.
I have a feeling, though, Cummings got a little bit of that, too.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
And the further north you go.
I've moved up to the country.
Yeah.
I'm in the land, and I love it. It's been great so far.
Such an awesome
Love the area.
Love that area, too.
I am in the land of, and maybe Jure could give him a run for their money. He admits this. I'm in the land of very bad tattoos. It's
mine are at least covered up.
Okay.
At least you're strategic.
Can't spot them until I show them to you.
That's right. I've got to raise up my shirt somehow or another.
I've been going to the pool quite a bit, and there's a lot of 90s decisions that have not worked out very well. And I'm not saying like people have gotten bigger or anything. It's just that you went with something in the 90s and you went,
Yeah. You see the 90s, the tribal art.
Yes.
The what is it? The barbed wire.
Barbed wire on the
all
bicep.
that. What was the script? The old English script?
Yes.
Remember that was huge in the 90s, people getting tattoos?
Was it Japanese?
Japanese, absolutely. All that.
A lot of 30-year-old tattoos that people are going, man, that was a 18-year-old decision, and at 48 don't feel so good.
Yeah. I think we've all been there. When you make decisions, you look back and you're like,
I don't have it. Like my wife and I
do.
We have no tattoos, and a lot of this came from, especially when it was my grandfather. He always regretted his Navy tattoo, and that was his deal.
Same here.
Yeah. So
I think a lot of people do regret their tattoos. Now, I don't know if a lot of people will admit to it. I do. If anybody asks me, should I get a tattoo? No, you shouldn't.
Mine's on my back. As far as I'm concerned, it's everybody else's problem. Because I can't see it.
Tug on the small of his back. That's a strange place for a man.
But let me tell you,
it's a conversation starter.
It is, especially
very popular at the beach.
If I'm wearing low cut, board shorts or something,
he bends down and everyone's like, oh,
well, look at there,
Mr. Tugglesworth.
You got that Celtic knot there on your.
I didn't know you loved butterflies.
Right there in your. You got.
Wow, that unicorn is jumping over a rainbow.
How come you got the tramp stamp? Well, no,
we were in port.
We were. That's where I got mine. And it was a South Korean tattoo artist he was like the talk. I remember when they said, "Hey, you're going to Rota, Spain. Going to be one of the first port visits after you get across the Atlantic, go through the Straits of Gibraltar, and we're going to pull into Rota, Spain. There's a Navy base there." The conversation immediately went to Hung Tattoos is where you go. That's where all the sailors go to get. It's right off base. Dude is South Korean, but he's legendary. He's almost like Sailor Jerry. Have you ever heard of Sailor Jerry?
I know the name.
That's right. All that rum company is not his or his family's, but it was all based on him, and he was a Navy tattoo artist in San Diego.
Okay.
Same kind of
same
lore.
concept. Yeah, you go see this guy
with Hung Tattoos in Rota, Spain. It was the same kind of thing. Now I don't know if they got themselves a line of rum or not, but people went there. I went there. There was 3 of us that got tattoos that day from him, and the line was always out the door. All the sailors from all the ships would go straight there and get it done.
What's so weird is that when y'all all come together and it makes one giant tattoo.
Yeah, it's like a big puzzle, and you're like, oh, I couldn't. When you're separated, I can't see it. When you come together, it's like
suddenly
one of those magic eye things where you got to stare at it for a little while.
Well, at first, you're not really sure, and then they become Voltron. And you're like, wow, look at these guys.
These guys are in attack mode now.
No wonder they work so well together.
That's exactly right. Why did you not ever get a tattoo? What prevented you from? Because it is tempting. I fell for it.
It's similar to what my wife has brought up. I don't know if there was anything I was ever passionate enough about to have something so permanent.
Can I give you the corny story of why I got the tattoo I got?
Yeah, please.
It's so corny.
It's 9 o'clock. We've been all over the political world. Might as well have a little bit of like, here's Tug's great regret outside of his marriage.
Yeah, that's right. I'm never getting over that one either.
Well, we got this coming up here. Just a little while. Oh, man.
That's right. Can we just work?
I'm at 19 years. I'll be 20 years next year. Oh, man.
So I'm going to kick myself while I'm down. The job I did in the Navy was an operations specialist. Dark room, radars going around, red phones, people sending out calls coming in. It's kind of the brain of the ship. If you've ever seen a Navy movie, it's where the captain's barking out orders in that dark room. That's where I worked, the Combat Information Center. You worked, our shift was 5 on, 5 off, 7 on, 7 off. So you're 12-hour days, 12 hours on watch in the Combat Information Center in that dark room. And I love being outside. I love the sunshine. I love the heat. I was like, I got it. They can keep me in here for 12 hours, but they ain't going to keep me out of the sun. I'm going to get me a sunshine tattoo. And that was the logic behind it.
And that's how it occurred.
And that's how it came down. When you're 20 years old, 19, 20, I can't remember if I was 19 or 20, but right in there.
I'm going to get me a sunshine tattoo. Okay.
Yeah. But that's the silly reason.
Can't take it away from me.
12 hours in a dark room, radar sweeping around. You're tracking sailboats and Russian comm ships that tail Navy ships trying to intercept comms.
Let it be known, this is why they always talk about if your workforce doesn't have windows, they go crazy.
Mm-hmm. And the Combat Information Center has 0 windows. Now, usually, it's right off the bridge of the ship. So when you go out the front of it, you're on the bridge and you can see out. There's windows there. But when you're on watch, it's rare that you go out there unless there is at the time anyway, there was a thing called the JL Talker, and that was just a network that was sound activated communication system, and it went all over the ship, and you could just plug in and you're on the JL and you could talk to anybody on the ship anywhere that they were plugged in. But unless you did that watch, and usually that was a junior sailor watch, you didn't go out there. You just didn't. And so I was like, I'll fix this problem. I'll get me some sunshine.
I'm going to get me some. Okay, I'd never heard you tell that story.
It's so ridiculous. Looking back, horrible way to think about this.
Is there a way to explain a slice of pizza?
Nah, probably not.
But Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
I was with the other pizza cooks. We were having sushi and sake.
Were you were working at a pizza joint?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we went out to get sushi. Actually, we were not working that night. We all went out to get sushi.
No wonder.
And a former pizza chef who became a tattoo artist, he sent us the flash art. It's Friday the 13th. Here's all the 13 tattoos. And they had a slice of pizza with a 13 dripping off in the cheese. And
but did 13 signify anything for you? Like, at least for me in the sunshine, I was like,
it was cheap on a Friday the 13th. That's what they do in $13 tattoos.
Ah, okay. Now it's okay. That makes sense.
I just like that he was away from the pizza, so he realized he still needed to have the pizza.
That's right.
Forever. Do you regret the slice of pizza or no?
I mean, what's regretting it going to do for me?
Yeah.
It's not holding me back from getting a job.
No, I know that. I regret it because mine's so faded. It's 30 years old.
Do you ever pull your shirt off and go, all right, have these people seen this before?
Yeah. There's that time when
I was thinking about more of the pizza.
Oh, well, let me tell you.
I don't know.
Okay.
Man, I've seen some bad tattoos out there. I've seen some real rough tattoos.
Come by my pool.
A lot bigger. Yeah, over in Woodstock, we got them too. I'd wager any pool in the metro area, there's going to be some folks with some
I'll put my
ones.
bad tattoos at my pool against your bad tattoos at your pool.
My dad can beat up your dad any day.
We'll do something like trading cards.
That's right.
You should see hers, man.
It's terrible. Don't tell her I told you. So funny. Bad tattoos. There's plenty about there. I regret bad tattoos. Yeah, I regret mine just because it's so faded and old, and I just
get it touched up.
Yeah, why don't you send you over somewhere? Make it go bam.
I just don't expect that.
See, Los, you said you weren't ever passionate about anything to get one.
Yeah,
we need to get like a Fauci mugshot.
He's
right
already
on your
got
chest.
Keep the T-shirt. You have the T-shirt
stuck. Yeah, I've got my clown nose T-shirt.
Don't get. Can you imagine?
I guess there was never, like, I had a friend of mine, one of my college roommates, and we're playing college baseball, and he went and got a tattoo of a baseball biting through a bat, and it had like red eyes, and it looked ridiculous.
Of course, it had red eyes.
And I just
Has
thought to
on there too.
And I thought to myself, this is why you're known as DW Ty.
Jeez. not DW, but
DW Ty.
Genius.
I was like, that's why the nickname is fit. It's like, that's a pretty terrible looking tattoo.
Yeah, there was a hefty amount of sake involved in the pizza.
I thought you couldn't get tattoos when you'd had a bunch to drink because you bleed. Yeah.
Come on.
Who's following those rules? Yeah.
These are not exactly the most reputable places that you're walking into.
It's like there's the tattoo shop in Dalton where I'm from, and it is underneath the Hamilton Street Bridge. In Dalton, it goes. Seriously, it is physically a tattoo shop under the bridge, and a friend wanted to go in there to possibly get a tattoo. And this dude, he is Hell's Angels type fella, and he's given this tattoo. And his sister, who I guess owns the shop with him, walks in. I remember it like it was yesterday. Walks in and she goes, "Well, what are you doing?" And he's like, "Hell's look like I'm doing a tattoo." Yeah. She's like, "Did you get him to sign the paperwork?" "No."
Oh no.
So she's like, every time she's laying down the law, you have to get people to sign the waiver, and give it all the, because I guess she was the person that was responsible for it. Maybe the city comes in and looks at, makes sure that
when they go underneath the bridge.
Yeah, when they go under the bridge, like Red Hot Chili Peppers thing. And they were in a shouting match, and I'm just standing there watching it.
Just can't imagine that there's two trolls that give tattoos under a bridge.
Oh, but there are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet.
In downtown Dalton, Georgia. I don't know if it's still there. This has been, I've not lived home.
One of these days, man, I'm going to go to Dalton.
Dude,
I'm just going to stop through.
It's glorious. And the Mexican restaurants are really good. So there's that. Tulsi Gabbard said, much like the lady that just wanted things done correctly at the tattoo shop, the sister that came in, she said, did you get the paperwork signed? He's like, no, and she starts barking at him. Tulsi is barking at the media, asking, can you just please, for once, do some honest journalism?
My role as the Director of National Intelligence, my job, again, as I said when I came into this role, was to make sure that we are telling the truth to the American people, and that we are ensuring that the intelligence community is not being politicized. So I'm not asking you to take my word for it. I'm asking you and the media to conduct honest journalism and the American people to see for yourself in the documents that we've released now, close to 200 pages, that point in multiple references, multiple examples, to include comments that have been made by senior intelligence professionals who are some still working within these agencies today.
Yeah. She said, can you do something that you're not capable of doing, is what she asked them. It's like asking a plumber to do the electricity or the electrician to fly an airplane. They can't.
I was about to say my plumber to send me to space.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you've asked too much.
She's asking too much, and she knows that. But she's not blind or naive to the fact that this was a story, the headline, for 3 years, that they said every day, no doubt about it, Trump colluded with Russia. They hacked our election to elect Donald Trump.
Let me ask you this. Do we get another drop today, or is everything now, all right, it's been pointed, it's all been put out there. It now goes to who will prosecute? Because I do believe, obviously this monster story. It's a monster story. And I know it's a monster story because it's not being covered by any of the far left media. They won't even touch it. They will not touch it. And so I wonder if you dilute the real power of this thing if you keep dropping more information. Like, do you need more? Because at this point, I know what I need to know.
I don't, but I think it's different for us than the American people because that's who they have to convince. And you had the number earlier, 60% of Democrats still
believe Russian collusion's real when it comes to, 60% of Democrats, according to Rasmussen.
If they're releasing more documents, it's to finally try to shake them.
But I'm telling you, the wild part, and I experienced it for myself, having my mother sit there and tell me all about Trump this, Trump that. I'm like, hold on a second. You do realize this happened, though, right? Well, I don't even care. Just Trump.
But Trump. Yeah, I don't know. But she says there's so much more. Donald Trump has said there's so much more.
Mm-hmm. Maybe that's for a grand jury.
Could be. I think that maybe they hold the big dogs for the grand jury.
And what's the charge?
Yeah, that's going to be the next. Because
conspiracy 2, and then here's what it's got to be.
Well, there's going to be perjury. Perjury has to be in there because so many people testified that all this was legitimate.
I do believe, as Neil Bortz had pointed out, you can't purge yourself if you believe what you said was true at the time, but you have signed documents showing that they knew it wasn't.
Yeah. And that, I mean, I don't know how you get out of that one.
Perjury.
Yeah, I don't know how you get out of that one. When we come back on Extra 106.3, the left is about to become more vicious and more violent than you ever imagined they could be. Next on Extra 106.3, 9 o'clock hours brought to you by Southern Exteriors. Home exterior solutions since 1999. Windows, doors, siding, roofing, gutters, and millwork. They'll build you a screened-in porch if you want it. 10% off any job, no matter how big, or 12 months, 0% financing at southernexteriors.co.
Start your day with Tug and Los on the Morning Extra from 6 to 10. Then it's Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck at noon, and the Kimmer Show on your ride home from 3 to 6. And hang out every night for Jesse Kelly at 6 and Jimmy Fela at 9. And stream it all live in crystal clear HD on the Extra 106.3 app.
The summer's got you thinking about hitting the road. And with back to school right around the corner, you need a vehicle built for the road and safe enough for the family. And Subaru of Gwinnett has it for you. like the 2025 Subaru Outback, which will take you as far as you want to explore with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive, plus up to 32 miles per gallon. And if you're up for adventure, it'll get you off the beaten path with up to 9.5 inches of ground clearance, more than the Honda CR-V or Toyota RAV4. Or the 2025 Subaru Forester, the SUV for all you love. It's the right-sized SUV for all the adventures ahead, with a spacious and comfortable interior for everyone you want to bring along. And no matter where adventure takes you, it starts on Satellite Boulevard in Duluth with the amazing staff at Subaru of Gwinnett. They'll help you find the Subaru that you'll love and be there every step of the way for everything you need. Start your shopping online at SubaruofGwinnett.com.
Hey, Atlanta's Mark from the Safe House. I have a question for you. Am I the only person pissed off with the mainstream fake news, liberal judges,
and whiny liberal politicians
who don't realize why Donald Trump is president, and fake safes? And you may wonder, why fake safes? Well, a fake safe is like Joe Biden, cheap and ineffective. A real safe from the Atlanta Safe House is like Donald Trump, tough, effective, and provides peace of mind when you need it the most. So drop by Atlanta Safe House and check out the largest selection of safes in the Southeast and see what a real safe looks like. So go to AtlantaSafehouse.com.
Hey, it's a Kimmer talking about Stovall.
Yeah, I just wanted to brag on Stovall. I went up there and actually got a quote on some of their material up there, and he gave me the quotes I wanted, but he said what would work best, they don't carry, and referred me to one of their competitors. That's how good they are. And sure enough, he was right. The material he was talking about that they don't carry, it's actually going to work best for me. So I've got that on the way. It all worked out well. Makes me want to go back and buy something from them now.
Folks, when it comes to landscaping supplies, start at Stovall. 11 locations around Atlanta. Online at StovallInc.com.
Hi, I'm Chris Lalamia, owner of the Trusted Toolbox. Are home repairs piling up? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Relax. We've got you covered. From drywall dings and leaky faucets to deck repairs and trim replacement, we're your one-stop shop for everything for your home needs. No more juggling multiple contractors. Just call us at the Trusted Toolbox and we'll handle it. Your home deserves the best, and we don't want you breaking your back trying. Call the Trusted Toolbox today at 770-623-3097 or visit us at thetrustedtoolbox.com. The Trusted Toolbox, your one-stop shop for home repairs and more.
My name is Patrick, and I'm the Military Outreach Manager at the Warrior Alliance. I served in the U.S. Army as an airborne ranger and deployed to several combat zones in support of the global war on terror. Veterans bring excellence through our work ethic, skills, and civic duty. However, transitioning to civilian life can be difficult, as we all share a loss of purpose when leaving the military. Returning veterans have earned and deserve our support so they can thrive on their journey home. The Warrior Alliance understands the challenge and is helping warriors navigate to success after service. Join us in changing thousands of lives for the better. Donate today at thewarrioralliance.org.
There are nut jobs on the road. Who knows where they learn to drive? If one of them hits you, don't take care of it on your own. Call my friend David Van Sant, 855-GA-INJURY. Van Sant Law, one of Georgia's top-rated personal injury lawyers and car accident firms. Time is of the essence. Don't waste any. The longer you wait to get the right lawyer, the longer it takes to get the compensation you deserve. Call Van Sant Law today. The number is 855-GA-INJURY. VanSantLaw.com.
You ever stop and think, what happens when a nation forgets its own story? We lose our identity. We lose who we are. And sadly, that is what's happening in America right now. And that is why I am so grateful for PragerU. As we approach our 250th birthday, they are leading the charge to restore truth, real American history, patriotism, and common sense. We know this poison is killing our country, but what do? Well, PragerU launched an amazing initiative called America 250, and I want you to get involved like I have. They offer daily challenges and powerful short videos, all for free. And I want you to know I'm involved. I've made some videos and we'll be making more from our museum in Dallas. I love what they will teach you and your family, the Constitution, the Founding Fathers, and the principles that our country was built on. We are in a battle for America's soul, and thank God for PragerU. Go to PragerU.com/Glenn. Share it with friends and families, especially young people. It's free and it takes just minutes. Let's teach the truth before it's forever forgotten. Go to PragerU.com/Glenn.
The stories that matter to you. These are your Georgia headlines.
Here are your Georgia headlines for Thursday, July 24th. The Cobb County Commissioners voted to approve a $1.3 billion budget for 2026. Next year's budget maintains the current millage rate at 8.46 mils and avoids a $7 million deficit due to lower health care costs and rising property values. Higher internet speeds are coming to the city of Smyrna. City officials approved a deal with Google Fiber to begin installation along public right-of-ways for high-speed internet and TV access. The deal emphasizes that installations must be done with reasonable care. A temporary stop work order was issued in Brookhaven last December when a gas main was ruptured during related construction. And the kids are heading back to school soon. Pearson Middle School is hosting a back-to-school bash for Cobb County to provide nearly 1,000 backpacks filled with school supplies. The event begins tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Chick-fil-A meals will be provided courtesy of the Braves Home Plate Project, along with free health screenings and physicals. Today's weather slightly cooler today in the upper 80s with isolated thunderstorms in the afternoon. A major heat wave is on the way early next week. With your headlines, I'm Jerry Payne for Extra 106.3.
9 o'clock hour brought to you by Southern Exteriors, your home exterior solution since 1999. Windows, doors, siding, roofing, gutters, 10% off. Or 12-month 0% financing, southernexteriors.co.
Can I share with you my own Aunt Peg moment?
Yeah, man.
I was listening to a person who has full-blown TDS telling me about how quickly Donald Trump was helping out the flood victims in Texas and how, well, he didn't do that for California with the fire victims. That was on January 7th when it started. He was inaugurated January 20th.
Yeah. It's funny because
I was just pondering that.
Yeah, it's just the gap. Like, you didn't take into consideration the fact that he, wasn't in office.
He wasn't the president.
Yeah, that he had no authority, no power over, FEMA or the money.
For all the people that are going like, where's all of our help? It's like, well, your president was asleep.
Yeah, the board of directors, man, they weren't focused on you. They were focused on power. They were focused on...
Just a little reminder that the TDS runs real deep with some people, that dates and times and power and civics, none of it really applies. None of it ever filters in.
Don't have to, but Trump. That works for everything.
But Trump.
It's the Trump card.
But Trump.
But every discussion comes to that. Let me give you an example. I was watching a video that Scott Jennings from CNN did, and he was talking to whomever the podcaster or broadcaster was. They were talking about how there's violence. And Scott says, yeah, the left's been crazy violent. And the woman who's interviewing him, talking to him, says, well, you can't say it's just on the left. So it's on both sides. It's just the extremes on both sides.
Oh, really?
And Scott goes through and names a bunch of the ones for, the most recent ones, taking shots at presidents and setting Tesla cars and
going after ICE
agents.
An assault and shooting 30 rounds at an ICE detention center.
An ICE agent in New York, didn't he get shot in the face? Yes. I mean, he just lays out a bunch, and she goes, well, but you can't just say it's. And he was like, okay, go give me one. Give me somebody on the right. He says, January 6th. That's what she came up with. She's like, somebody died on January 6th, and he goes, well, you realize, yeah. And then he goes, but let's say that is a valid answer. Let's just say that it was. That's 5 years ago. That we're talking about stuff that has been happening month after month, week after week, day after day.
You've set me up perfectly. You may not even know that. So Beto O'Rourke is running for senator in Texas. You're going to have the opportunity. And the way it all looks as of now, you're going to have a seat that's going to remain Republican. But the Democrats are lining up just trying to see if they can mount some sort of attack. Like the last one was Ted Cruz. Cruz won easily. Everyone was like, oh my God, Cruz is going to be in trouble in Texas. Texas is changing. And they always say the same thing. What happens is these people are in Dallas or San Antonio. They're never in Fort Worth, by the way, or Houston. And they're like, man, Texas is changing. And then you look at the map of Texas, and it's basically 4 small blue areas: Austin, Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, and the rest of it's blood red. That's how it happens and the way it continues. But Beto O'Rourke, who has failed in every attempt he has to land office in Texas, he went on and did a promotional stop for his campaign. And Beto O'Rourke went this close, I got my fingers together, of talking about civil war, of talking about violence. And he's treading that line. But what would you think if you're a supporter of his that he's asking you to do? Take a listen.
At this moment of truth, our kids or grandkids are going to be wondering, why didn't you step up and save this country when you had the chance? So not everything is going to appeal to everyone, but we must do everything we can with what we have right now, or we're going to lose the republic.
Is America a tyrannical country now?
It is descending into it as quickly as anyone has seen, anyone in living memory. We've never seen a crisis of constitution, rule of law, or government of the people, by the people, for the people, since perhaps the attacks that preceded the Civil War and the loss of more than 300,000 Union dead to preserve this country as a free nation and to end slavery and defeat the Confederacy. I sure as hell hope that this does not descend into further violence and armed conflict. I want us to resolve this democratically, peacefully, and nonviolently. But within those parameters, let us do everything that we can, because if we fail to do that, the other side is going to consolidate this power, and it might very well spell the end of this noble experiment.
He goes right up to the line. He even invokes a civil war. The funny thing is, he even points out the Union, which at the time was run by the Republicans that beat the Southern Democrats, his party. But that's where he's straddling that line where you get the crazy people that do get violent. And so when Scott Jennings brings that up with a podcaster, this is the sort of stuff he's referring to.
When Beto said, was asked, are we a tyrannical country? He was like, we're trending that way. What is that? How do you prevent that? If you're not willing to go to blows, because he comes back and says, let's do it democratically, let's do it through the. But you're saying that Russia has hijacked an election. The election was basically stolen. That's what they're saying. So how would you then say the democratic process would even work?
If I was to say a version of soft tyranny, and it is, taxation is a version of very soft tyranny. You're going to take what I have produced, and you're going to decide what you're going to do with it. Now, that's a version of soft tyranny that, because of the law and because of how we're all conditioned, we just put up with. It's just how it is. Donald Trump just gave you permanent tax cuts and no tax on tips. He actually softened tyranny. Whereas...
Yeah, put a dent in tyranny.
Whereas I have yet to have, at any point, have the president get up on television and tell me I have to do this or I'm going to make sure you lose your job. Now that's hard tyranny.
I remember hearing that, though.
And that's not coming from this president or this administration.
Recently.
Yes. Like, I don't know, 3 years ago.
It's funny that he brings up consolidating power. Because, Los, he's seen that up close, too. He's seen people consolidating power. He watched the Biden administration do that.
Yes.
So when I hear him say that, it's hard for me to even take him serious because he knows what that actually looks like. He just agrees with it there and he's okay with it.
I saw the Biden administration take the power of the purse. Now, civics, who owns the power of the purse? Congress. I saw the Biden administration rejecting outright Supreme Court rulings and continuing to, hey, we'll pay off your student loans.
And
wait a minute, you're not allowed to do that.
And even say it out loud. He even said, I don't care what they did. We're going to find a way around it. Out loud.
That's the consolidation, the unhealthy consolidation of power within a republic, a representative republic, in a republic that is ruled by this Constitution. That everything he brought up, I can point out in the last 5 years and go, I know who did that. Tell me exactly how, as he's pointing out, we're losing this. The man won the popular vote for the first time in 20-some years as a Republican and swept all 7 swing states. Tell me where this turned into, well, it's a consolidation of power.
And because of that, we have to kill him.
we got to everything right up until the Civil War. We'll settle this democratically. You've never wanted to settle anything democratically.
Ever.
You don't want fair elections. You won't even run them within your own party.
And we're supposed to believe that you would do it nationally? You're going to give everybody the opportunity when you don't even let the people that you represent.
Beto can't even win one of these elections, and yet he's still pushing for them.
That's right. That's the thing that gets left behind all the time. Who is this guy? Why do they keep trotting him out?
What he gets is shoeless, armpit hair hippie girls in Austin to show up at his events and dance around. You think I'm kidding? I'll pull up those videos.
I believe you. 100% believe you. I'm just saying it's gross.
And it always goes back to the same thing. Texas is changing. Yeah. Look, it's going to go blue. Watch what happens. Not since Ann Richards. Now, she was the governor of Texas, and this is going back like 30, 35 years. But Ann Richards was basically she was a pure blue dog, physical conservative.
That doesn't exist anymore.
But when it came to how she looked at everything, she was much more liberal in terms of, hey, you want to do what you want to do? That's fine. And after that, as the Blue Dogs went away, Texas has never been anywhere close to having a Democrat governor since then.
This is exactly why you have to be so dialed in, and you have to pay attention, and you have to encourage your friends and family to pay attention. Because if they ever figure out a way to get elected, and they will, you can't pretend that Democrats are never going to get elected again. They will. That's why when we say fight, and Donald Trump gets up and says fight, 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 he's actually not talking about violence. He's talking about doing things the right way and fighting for this country and the values that you believe in, campaigning, going door to door, getting involved in your community starts. And Los used to talk about this a lot, and that is get involved in your school board, get involved in your city council, get involved in your county commission, because those are the places that have direct effect on you. Does D.C. have effect on you? Sure it does, but not direct effect like your community does.
What is your version of what Donald Trump was asking for? He was telling you to fight, as in, we're a great country, let's make it great. And does that mean that, hey, there's a lot of ICE jobs opening up? You want to go take part in that if you're law enforcement? Okay, that's your version of it. Mm-hmm. Do you want to make sure that your school board is not being run by a bunch of crazy people? Then you go do that. It really is a mentality of be an active participant in your government, not outside of your government. That's for the other side. And that's for what they do.
I think you're seeing it a lot more because the Democrats figured that out too, right? They never were really involved or promoted being involved in local governments. And then people like George Soros was like, hey, wait a minute. We can take over at such a low cost. Like if it costs $2 million, this is me throwing out a number, whatever it is, to run for Senate in the state, like as a Georgia state senator.
State senator, $1 million, yeah. $2 million at the most, yeah.
I bet you can do it for $50,000 at the school board and have more effect.
One of the crazy numbers I was ever given, and this was by a state senator, said my opponent is spending $1 million on a job that pays $45,000. But that's their yearn for power.
Gotta have it. Gosh, man, that's so vivid. What an incredibly vivid description.
How do you, in your mind, going, really, you're spending this much for my seat?
Or who's spending that much knowing that this other person will do the bidding for them? And
the other funny part is I was told this by another state senator. The real comedy is when, because you know, again, this isn't what it's made out to be in terms of, this is not a school dance where the Republicans sit on one side, the Democrats sit on the other. All right, they intermingle. They're colleagues. Some of them are just flat out friends. It's just what it is. And one of the things they'll talk about is Democrats pointing out, hey, if we really wanted your seat, we'd probably spend more.
Yeah.
It's like, but we know we can't get it. Yeah. But so we'll only spend $1 million. If they really thought they could get it, they'd spend $3 million and put a better candidate out there.
And then when they do spend that money, whether it's $1 million or $3 million for your $45,000 job, then that person is beholden to them forever. That call, if they give you $1 million to get elected, or let's say $3 million, they can make that call in the middle of the night 10 years from now.
I would love, because we're going to have a number of congressmen that are going to be coming through in the next couple of months. There's a lot of people that are running for office, and a lot of people are going to be looking to gain higher office. And one of the issues that goes on in Washington, and it's just part of it. When you have leadership that's willing to give you money for your campaign or to finance your campaign, well, they're going to ask to make sure that when they seek leadership, that they have your vote. And so there are times when you say, well, why is that person the speaker? Well, why did that person get into this line of power? Well, they got the purse strings. They get to make the call on this stuff. And sometimes you got to kiss the ring.
Well, in politics, you always got to kiss the ring.
Always got to kiss that ring.
Obama's kissing somebody's ring. Whoever's funding him, whoever funded his campaign, he's got to kiss all those rings. That's the beauty of Trump not needing anybody's money.
That's always been the allure. Like, I don't need your money.
You can't. What the gangster say?
The gangster said he was incorruptible. They couldn't get him on the take. Couldn't get him to play ball with some of their mafia work that they were doing in New York.
Didn't need the money. 9 o'clock hour brought to you by Southern Exteriors, 8779 southernexteriors.co. When we come back, Stephen Colbert says the gloves are coming off as we wrap the show before Glenn Beck, then Clay and Buck, and then the local afternoon show with the Camera Pete and Flounder, 3 to 6 on Extra.
The latest sports news, powered by 680 The Fan, and driven to Extra listeners by RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs, Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz connection since 1964.
Good morning. Here are your sports headlines for Thursday, July 24th. The Atlanta Braves ended up dropping 2 of 3 to the San Francisco Giants at Truist Park, including a 9-3 loss yesterday afternoon. Today, the team is off before opening up a weekend series in Arlington against the Texas Rangers. Football is on the way from the NFL. The morning on-field workouts will begin for the Falcons as training camp 2025 begins. The team will be on the field from Flowery Branch starting at 9:30. There are no holdouts on the roster for this training camp. With your sports updates, I'm Carlos Medina.
Make going back to school a little more fun as the Brewers and Marlins come to Truist Park August 4th through the 10th. The week includes the Ronaldo Lopez bobblehead giveaway presented by Coca-Cola on August 4th, followed by the Ronald Acuna Jr. Funko Pop giveaway presented by Xfinity on August 6th. And new this year is the Batman Ticket Package, which includes a Batman bobblehead and a game ticket. Visit Braves.com/promos to purchase your tickets. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Now, I know there are plenty of HVAC companies out there, but let me tell you why Central Heating and Air Conditioning stands out from the rest. These days, it's hard to tell who's on first. Everybody wants to play. Many of the local HVAC companies, though, have been sold to large conglomerates. And some are even coming back under new names. But at Central Heating and Air Conditioning, they never left the field. They've been your hometown team since 1947. And their dedication to our community has never wavered. They are the grand slam you can count on. Central's team of experts know the game inside and out, delivering dependable service and personalized solutions every time. So don't get caught off base. Choose the HVAC team that's always been in the game. Get Carrier products, Carrier warranty, and Carrier peace of mind. Turn to your Atlanta Carrier experts, Central Heating and Air Conditioning. Call them today, 770-GET-HEAT, or visit them online at centralheat.com.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Hey, this is John Flading. I'm the president and owner of ATL Turf Co. We have become a highly sought-after turf installation company in the Atlanta and North Georgia luxury residential market. Big reason for that is our installers are ATL Turf Co. employees. We do not outsource labor. They are trained to be experts in the turf installation process, drainage, grading. Just go to atlturfco.com to schedule an appointment.
Good morning, Mike. What you eating?
You gotta try this.
I can hear you crunching from the next cube over.
This is amazing. I just discovered it this weekend at Lidl. It's Greek Goddess Gourmet Granola. They were sampling it, so I tried it. Then I bought 6 bags.
Wow. Is it cereal?
Can be. Or an amazing trail mix. It's great for a meal or a snack.
What's in it?
Well, they have 2 flavors, maple oat and harvest nut, which is my favorite. It's made with whole grain oats, almonds, pecans, raisins, coconut, and the sweet taste of pure maple syrup. Maple oat is a simpler take on their delicious granola. It's got wholesome oats, plump raisins, coconut, and maple syrup.
That sounds healthy and delicious.
That's why I can't stop crunching, Susan.
Greek Goddess Gourmet Granola. It's a breakfast or on-the-go snack you can feel good about. It's dairy-free and gluten-free, and with only 2 grams of added sugar per serving, even your belly will love it. Pick some up at Lidl, Amazon, GreekGoddessGourmet.com, or at specialty stores near you.
A couple years ago, I was in the bathroom at the airport when I dropped my smartphone in the toilet. Not smart. I was multitasking when I should have been focused on the job at hand. Embarrassing, but I'm not alone. According to Google, 7 million other multitaskers accidentally dropped their phones into the bowl last year. A gentle reminder that right now you can get yourself a brand new Samsung Galaxy A36 absolutely free with a $35 plan from Pure Talk. The A36 comes with scratch-resistant Gorilla Glass and a battery that'll last all day, along with unlimited talk, text, and data on America's most dependable 5G network. In other words, it's tough and smart. Something to think about next time you're multitasking in the necessary. Just dial pound 250, say keyword micro to get your free phone today. You can make the switch in just 10 minutes. That's pound 250. Say micro to switch to a no-nonsense smartphone and a company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
Promises made, promises kept. The president is making the economy great again. He's securing the border for America's safety, and the mainstream media still wants to tear him down.
The media wants Donald Trump to fail. That's their goal. That's how they'll report his progress.
But we know the truth, and we give you the perspective that other stations won't. Atlanta's only conservative voice is Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Los was playing a funny South Park clip, and I said to him, I was like, well, right there's the reason that the creators of South Park got a $1.5 billion deal with Paramount. And Stephen Colbert, not funny at all, he got fired, losing $40 million a year. It's pretty straightforward how this works.
They just made fun of NPR, of 60 Minutes, and Donald Trump all in the span of just a few minutes.
And it was so funny. He and I chuckling out loud. But it's been almost entertaining the way that the mainstream media and leftists have been just on the soapbox screaming about Stephen Colbert. That they've shown me there's not been one moment that I even chuckled at.
Is there like some sort of gene that just caused you to deny all reality?
It must be. I guess so.
You know, like as the new mayor of Reelsville, that's like where I live. This is how this goes. This is what happens. Like, I'm very adamant. Why do I always say I don't think anything's going to happen? Now, it would be a miracle if it did. But why do I always reject the fact that anything will happen to these people over all this Russian collusion? Because rich and powerful people don't go to jail. If they do, they really messed up. It just doesn't happen. Like, you really got to mess with somebody to have something go on like that. You really got to make a mistake. And so, you know, so much of this is if you're losing $40 million on a TV show, and the TV show was called Rush Limbaugh 2.0, everybody would go, well, of course. What? You can't keep running that out there. It's losing $40 million. If that show was Gutfeld and it's losing $10 million, you'd be like, of course, you can't keep running that out there. But because it's, in this case, Colbert Show just became this soft landing spot for the left to come tell stories to other leftists. And that's the whole reason why they're upset. And as he ended up saying in Rolling Stone, for the next 10 months, the gloves are off. Like, the gloves are already off.
Yeah, what do you mean?
How do you think you lost the gloves? How do you think you lost all this money? How do you think you have 200 people working on that show? You know, for the next 10 months, they're going to be sitting there and every day reminded of why they're not going to have a job.
Oh,
because
200 people.
Because he couldn't stop doing what he's doing.
He was so addicted to it.
His political ideology was far more important than your livelihood or taking care of 200 people. And to think, you have had it for the course of history. You had guys like Jay Leno who said, all right, I'll take a cut to keep my staff here. You've had people in radio where you've had people that during the pandemic pulled their money together and said, we will make sure that these people as part of our team stay here.
Dude, I saw it with artists in Nashville.
Yes.
Ton of them. A lesser-known guy named Chase Rice, he's the one that kind of started it all. He went out and he said, we're going to do shows and we'll invite whatever the venue will let us. He was like, I'm not taking a penny. I just want my guys to get paid.
My guys, so they can get through this.
But so many artists did that.
And yet, Stephen Colbert says the gloves are off. After costing $40 million multiple years to CBS and then having the nerve to look at 200 people and go, "Oh, I'm doing the right thing.
Yes, this is entertaining.
I'm costing us a crazy amount of money."
It's awful.
But the gloves are off.
You know who's not thinking about those 200 people? Stephen Colbert. He's
Of course not.
It's never crossed his mind.
Just about him.
It's always, and that's the thing. Like, what is he going to do different? To your point, what's he going to do different with his gloves off?
You're going to curse more? Oh, you're on CBS.
Yeah.
It just gets beat, man.
Yeah, right. Hey, you and Jon Stewart, and look, John does great work for veterans, which I appreciate. Disagree with him politically. He does great work for veterans. Was working with Catherine Herridge. I was reading an article that she did about a veteran that they were able to help together. Catherine is doing incredible journalistic work with these files that Tulsi Gabbard has declassified and shared. So it seems like a little bit of an odd bedfellow, but they both connect on veterans and care. You think Stephen Colbert's going, okay, what can I do now that the gloves are off? What can I do different than I did for the last 4 or 5 years that will make a difference, that's going to cut through? And maybe I'll create a show that'll go on YouTube or on X. Well, you'd never do that. Maybe on Blue Sky. I don't know. Where can I park it that it will be accessible to everyone, and maybe I can hire back 1 or 2 of those 200?
Yeah.
Never crossed his mind.
No, not at all. There was no point where, you know what? Yeah, because it's self-analysis. Like, we're getting near football season, self-scouting. Every team, when they get a bye week, they will review. In the same way that I go back and I listen to the show every day. What did I say that I shouldn't have said in a certain way? Did I make myself clear on that? Did I jump in on something and cut off Tug? Like, these are the things that you do. At no point do I believe that Stephen Colbert ever said, you know, maybe my show's way too far left.
No self-reflection. Zero self-reflection.
Maybe for the audience, here's what the numbers are saying. Maybe I'm missing out here. Maybe I'm doing this wrong.
And if somebody asks him about those 200 people that got fired, you know what his answer is going to be? But Trump. It's Trump's fault because Trump tweeted about it. Trump, he pushed CBS and Paramount to fire me. That way they can get their merger, because that's been the go-to line of all the leftists in the mainstream media. It's Trump's fault. And Stephen Colbert, not having any self-reflection, will be like, yep, you're exactly right. It is their fault. All you 200 people, be mad. Make sure you're mad at those MAGA Republicans that voted for Donald Trump. It's their fault.
They're the ones. They aligned with Donald Trump. You need to be mad at him rather than, no, you're the one who ran the ratings. You're the one who cost.
How long has he been doing that? So I don't know the answer. Is it 10 years, 5 years? It's been a while.
I'm going to say it was about 2010, 2011.
So
15, he got the seat.
15 years.
Just about.
In 15 years, you had a job for 15 years, losing ungodly amounts of money. The amount of money that most people never see in their entire working life. And you don't have the self-reflection to be like, man, I had it for 15 years. Donald Trump's elected and I'm fired. It has to be Trump. It couldn't be me. Could not be me.
Take that back. It was April 2014. So just over 10 years.
Yeah, so, okay. It's, I don't know how you get yourself into that position unless your ego is so giant that I'm great and everybody else is stupid. Has to be that, Los.
It's wild when you look at his ratings. They were consistent, and he has one time where it exploded, and it was the day after it was announced that he was done.
That's when his ratings blew up?
That's when he actually did a 9.1 average rating.
Okay. Because people wanted to see what he was going to say, knowing that the announcement had been made.
But most of the time, it was just a pretty average show.
And losing $40 million.
To be average.
Yes, it's a tough place to be average. That'll do it for us. Thank you for being here. I hope you'll share the app or the show with somebody that you think will enjoy it or get something out of it. We would certainly be grateful for that. Beck is up next for Jure and Los. My name is Tug. Y'all come back now, you hear?
life and local news talk continues at 3 p.m. with Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. It's the Kimmer Show, only on Extra 106.3 and the Extra app.